than the Lakers. I don't know.
So did Paul Pierce.
Oh, that's a good point. And Kevin Garnett hated us before he came here.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett wanted to go to the Lakers too. Keep in mind, the allure for Paul George is that the Lakers are talking about getting Kobe. That's the allure, is playing next to Kobe. Otherwise, you're going to go to LA and lose for a shit ton of years.
Wait, Kobe?
Was that?
You said Kobe?
Did I?
Yeah.
LeBron,
Twice.
sorry.
Oh, okay, there we go.
I thought he meant Kobe too. I was like, are they going to try to get him out of retirement? Like what?
LeBron, sorry.
Sports.
Oh, we're live?
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Heads up, motherfucker.
Oh.
Sports thing.
Are we ready to start?
I don't know. Do we have links up? Okay.
Yes.
Let me fucking share those links out.
Oh, yeah. It's on Facebook?
Yep.
Yeah.
Ooh, someone has retweeted us. Thank you, someone.
Already? All right.
EW Broadcast Service.
That's not a thing. That's not real.
Something on Twitter.
Porno site. I mean, obviously.
That was a very strange noise you just made.
All right, let's see.
Oh,
Aha.
Jesus. I didn't even have to post the links, and Kenny's already up in the chat room.
Kenny King?
Yeah, buddy.
Kenny Lockhart.
Kenny Boy Pitbull. No.
We may have to rename it to the Kenny Lounge because...
The Lockhart Lounge?
Yes, there you go.
We're being followed, and we're following someone on Twitter at DarkMatchChamp, whose name on the profile is Lariat Tubman.
No, that's awesome.
I like that.
That just makes me laugh.
Would that be Lariato Tubman in Japan?
Apparently.
Lariato.
Lariato!
Oh, Troy says he doesn't have to come because he left a voicemail.
Oh, there you go.
It does not the same thing. Tell him to get his ass on the show. Hiatus starts after tonight.
You text him. I texted him directly.
All right, I'm putting it up.
Hey, what you do is your own business.
Yeah.
I have officially shared it on all of the places I can.
Yay!
Let me pop out this chat.
You got the chat. I got Google Notes here.
Oh, I didn't bring up the notes. I'll just go by whatever you guys say.
Googly Notes.
But yeah.
Well, if anything, if last week is any indication, Adam will stick to doing show by show, even based on the notes. So.
Technically, he jumped around. He did
I
not go in match
directed him
order.
to jump around.
No, he didn't go in match order though. He started going from one thing to another.
It was like a 10-bell salute. He forgot to go in order.
Oh.
I will turn this podcast around.
Okay, I have requested for my friend Henry Hugepex, the suplex throwing human duplex, to put it up on Twitter. So I believe it is done.
Huzzah!
Yeah.
Victory.
I should probably put it on Twitter too, just in case, for my 15 followers.
Hey, can you guys hear me okay? So I don't have to like lean down and my lower third cut off my mouth.
I hear you.
Hey, you don't have a lower third, but you do sound better when you lean down.
Yeah, it's a little low when you do it that way, and it's going to sound lower when you actually go to play the audio. Although with the compressor will help.
How's that?
Yeah.
Good? All right, cool.
I had a relative who didn't have a lower third, but that's because he was in Nam, so you know.
Oh. Are the lower thirds working this week?
I don't know. I don't even
I
try.
didn't even bother.
I don't even try anymore. Rockin' in a USA.
Yep. Now that song's in commercials too. Sal, you have a lot of awards behind you.
They're
None
not
of-
his.
None of them are mine.
Sal can't win shit.
Oh,
My kids are good at stuff, not me.
no. You should. It looks like a Kurt Angle Olympic gold medal behind you, actually.
It works. Okay.
Actually, karate medal.
Oh.
Well, it works for me. It will not work for Adam.
Nope, I don't even try. Karate fighters?
Do Didn't Sonny win that tournament? I forget.
I don't remember. All I remember.
Oh my god, the stupid little tournament they had like in the ring.
All I remember about Karate Fighters was wanting Karate Fighters so bad that when we bought them for my cousin for Christmas, I would very secretly open the box, take them out, play with them, put them back in the box, and tape the box back shut.
Wow,
Nice.
Before they got wrapped for Christmas.
I had them. They were not as fun as they looked.
Your cousin's like, why is there duct tape all over the box?
I used Scotch tape. Come on.
Speaking of which, I recall Jerry Lawler duct taping his Karate Fighter's foot down so it would not fly off during the tournament.
Oh,
Actually
that's
happened.
Jerry Lawler.
Yep.
All right, now that it's 9 o'clock almost, we're ready to go. Everybody got Audacity up and everybody's ready.
Indeed.
Yeah, just tell me when to start recording, man. You got to introduce me.
So much for that 20 to 9. Oh, for fuck's sake.
Hey, I was ready at 8:45, and then somebody was like, Adam's in the bathroom. So I'm like,
you see this coon? He's stealing your gimmick.
Oh.
What a dick.
Okay. I had to update the show notes. Okay.
Ready to go?
Yep.
Okay. So I can hear myself in someone else's thing.
Is Sal, you wearing headphones?
Yes, I am.
All right. Episode 300. In 3, 2, 1, record. Guys, I have some bad news.
Theme song!
Did you say theme song?
Yes.
Okay.
Because 300th episode.
It's episode 300 of The Rundown. My name is Adam. I'm your host. It is Wednesday, June the 27th, 2017. Welcome, everyone. Welcome.
Wait, that was bad news? That it's 300?
300 episodes. Whose voice is that? I don't know. Jason's here.
You just glossed the fuck over me to get to the good stuff, I guess. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm here for the 300th episode, as I've been here for like the 100 and some odd previous episodes, but whatevs. Let's get to the people you care about, Adam. Go ahead.
Well, that doesn't help me introduce Sal at all. That's not Taz's theme song.
Fuck Taz. No, I'm just kidding. I love Taz. What's going on, Adam? Episode 300. Whoever thought you would have made it this far?
I'm going to give you a fun fact. Did you know that theme song was originally used for a team in the XFL?
Who's that voice?
Sorry.
Could it be? Rarer than Halley's Comet, a blue moon, and a solar eclipse put together.
The mammal, the myth, the legend.
Hey, Raccoon Reigns!
And it's good to be back, folks. Oh.
Play the theme song, pal. Goddamn.
Yeah, well, hey, it's my relative, so it makes sense. I'm actually disappointed you never played the clip from, what is it, Raw Talk or whatever that show is, where Roman Reigns specifically admitted to having raccoons in his trash can. I mean, come on. Splice that in during this episode.
I didn't think it was noon. It was news. We've known that forever.
That's true. That's true. Good point. But it's good to be back.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
So now that you have met all the players involved in tonight's episode, for the time being, if you're watching us on YouTube, let me encourage you to slide over to the right-hand side of your screen. You'll see a box that says live chat. We got a couple of messages in there already. What's up to Kenny Lockhart in there? And my wife has joined us as well. My wife would like to know, Adam, do you have a Woody because it's number 300?
There's a reason the camera only goes down this far.
There you go. And if you're interested in joining the discussion, congratulating us on 300 episodes or anything else you'd like to share from the week that was in professional wrestling, slide over to the right-hand side, pop out that chat, type in some messages, take off your pants, grab the oil, do whatever you got to do because it's 300, bitches.
This is Rundown.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was terrible. Yes, hope there may be at least one additional face that may appear a little later. Don't know for sure.
The Bog Dog?
But we'll tease that now, just in case it happens. Oh, we don't have a pay-per-view to predict this week. I barely know what to do with myself.
Don't get used to it.
This is good show prep for the 300th episode.
Should it? So should we begin with the voicemails? Do we want to get into the?
Yeah, let's listen to the
televisuals?
voicemails. I don't know. Hold on, Sal. Did you leave any voicemails that spoil the topics we're going to discuss the rest of the show like last week?
Me? No, not at all.
Okay, cool. All right, then let's do the voicemails.
Well, okay. Ready? Okay.
Raccoon, I appreciate the
How many do we
time.
have?
I think it's 4.
Of
I think
course.
we got 4 here.
4. Wow.
Play it.
Hello,
Play.
Adam, Jason, Sal, Raccoon, some
Oh.
configuration of those people.
Good call.
I am not there, which is sad because we reached 300 episodes, of which I was probably maybe a third, a fourth of those episodes included me. And of course, this happened to line up on the first week of my hiatus while I anxiously await a new member of the family. So,
You
of
haven't had the
course,
kid
because
yet,
it's
you could've come
300
on the show.
episodes, I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss the opportunity to call in and address every single person who's ever downloaded at least one episode of the Rundown and tell them they should go to audibletrial.com/rundown for a free audiobook and a 30-day membership, or a free 30-day membership, I believe, to Audible. And you could pick up such great books like Justin Roberts' book, JBL Was Probably in My Asshole More Times Than I Can Count, or check out AJ Lee's book, I Left My Dream Job to Be in a Same-Sex Relationship with a Quitter. Go to audible.com or audibletrial.com/rundown for rheumatoid arthritis now. Thank you.
Company man.
Does that mean you don't have to add that plug at the end of the show now?
Thank you, Troy. But somehow,
That was a good bit. By the way, why don't we do one of those Audible things?
Oh, God.
His wife is giving birth right now. Did you know that? Yeah, as we speak. He's going to name the kid Rundown.
Goddamn Mox. It's
Oh.
me. It's me. It's Tommy Montesanti. And I'm calling you this week to congratulate the Rundown Wrestling Podcast on 300 episodes.
Oh, it's not
300 episodes, most of them on YouTube. A hell of an accomplishment. So congratulations to all of the hosts, all of the voicemail callers, and all of the special guests the Rundown has ever had. Here's to another 300, although I seriously think Adam's going to do about 303 and then say, fuck this shit, mail it in. One quick thing I want to say about wrestling, fuck LeVar Ball. Have a good show.
Yeah, are we going to cover that segment with Miz and his 3 balls?
Oh yeah,
I'm
it's in the
sure- I'm
note.
sure we will
I
get
think we're
there.
gonna have to. Yeah.
Okay. all right.
But one thing Tommy missed is that apparently he hasn't been listening lately because Adam's already mailing it in.
Ouch.
Hi, this is Jackson,
Oh,
and I am here to call in to say something to Sal. Sal, calm down!
Well, I guess I just have to shut up for the rest of the episode now.
I was hoping that was going to end with Baba Booey, Howard Stern's penis, Howard Stern's penis.
Just don't be so angry, Sal. That's all.
I'm not angry. Tommy, that's another story. He's kind of, but I'm fine.
There's one in every family.
Actually, he does.
I heard it was your 300th episode.
Speaking of which,
Why don't you come visit me anymore? Since you're doing your show on Wednesday, I guess that means Thursday is free to come visit. I have some peppermint candies for you. Come visit your grandmother, Adam. Come visit me.
That sounded like Charlie the Unicorn from the
Yeah.
those old YouTube videos.
Was that a man or a woman? I couldn't quite tell.
it sounds like Grandma's got one foot in the grave there. Jesus.
Okay.
That was Adam's grandmother. Okay.
Hold on. But important thing to note: 300th episode live on YouTube. The offer's been extended. Adam, will you be visiting your grandmother tomorrow?
Now I got to go to the gym tomorrow.
Oh. I couldn't help but notice Adam's grandmother sounded a little bit different this time. I don't know why.
Yeah,
Well, she was dropping a deuce last time. It's a little pressure,
Yeah.
It's not even.
I'd say that's a lot of pressure.
She must have got a new phone. Oh, that was fun. Thank you to all the well wishers for our 300th episode.
And thank you, of course, to everybody who's ever called a voicemail in the 300 episode history of the Rundown. We appreciate all of the
Bernie Sanders.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Chet Winkstead.
Oh, Bogdan from Moldova.
I was just thinking about Bogdan the other day. We haven't had an update from him in a while.
I thought he was kidnapped by terrorists, but
he's dead, man. He got kidnapped. And,
shit.
And Marty Jannetty.
Marty Jannetty. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's who else do we have?
Andy's called left the voicemail before.
What?
Andy
what about Australian correspondent for Rundown Under, Russell Gibson? What about him?
There you go.
Yeah. It was almost like somebody just took two names of Australian celebrities and created them for his name or something.
Hey, you sometimes you gotta make up a TV name.
Yeah, it's a gimmick name, is what it was.
It's a stage name. It's fine.
Yeah. Oh, what about Mikey Michelson, that little kid?
I wonder how he's doing. I wonder what grade he's in now.
Yeah,
that's the voicemail that scarred Andy for life.
Yep.
I missed that one.
Oh, it was classic.
I'll have which episode was it? I'll have to go back.
Definitely
episode 190. I don't know.
I honestly don't remember.
And the reason I know it's on YouTube is because Andy's face during that voicemail was horrible.
All right, well now I definitely got to watch it.
Anyway, thank you, everybody. I'm glad we put the voicemail in. It helps.
Yeah.
Get that interaction. So
where do we start?
Doesn't help the grim. But
before the most important voicemail thanks. Mommy Moltisanti.
Oh yes.
Yeah, true.
I liked Mommy Moltisanti.
So getting into the week that was here. After our huge complaints about the way the women were handled last week, this week we get two multi-woman main events for both programs. I thought both matches were quite well done. I'm not sure why on the Money in the Bank match they didn't use the picture-in-picture during the commercial breaks during the main event of SmackDown, but
thank God for that picture-in-picture technology. Otherwise, we would have had no fucking clue what happened during the tag team match. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I noticed they don't do it for the main event. I don't know if it's like a contractual thing, but they don't.
Well, here's the thing, Sal. They don't do it for their overseas market. So if you're watching in Canada, for example, you have no fucking clue. You just came back to that tag team match and it was over. So
you just got a Popeyes commercial and that was it. It's definitely interesting that they're doing that. Yeah, I gotta say. Does that make Popeyes mad when people are obviously not watching the Popeyes commercial and they're watching the wrestling on the side?
Believe it or not, no, because you still hear the jingle and you see the product out of the corner of your eye, so people are still getting that idea in their head.
Yeah. So here's the thing, Raccoon. They're still getting their audio played, so it's basically the match is in the bottom corner, but the ad is still playing with its audio. But secondary, it's encouraging people to not change the channel during commercials, so they're actually more likely to get their advertising seen.
Well, here's my question. What if I'm watching that right there? I'm watching, the Popeyes ad and wrestling on the side, and something bad happens, like Enzo gets knocked the fuck out again. Am I forever going to associate Popeyes with a traumatic concussion? Then I'm not going to go to Popeyes.
I think that depends on how you feel about Enzo.
Exactly. You could like it, and then you could celebrate by eating Popeyes.
There you go. Or what if I'm watching the Popeyes ad and somebody
out of him. I need me some butterfly shrimp.
Yeah. Or every time somebody gets concussed, you'll be like, "Fuck, I could go for some Popeyes right now." Or what if the inverse? What if it's a gruesome blade job during the Popeyes ad, and you're like, "Whoa, hey, I can't get down to that anymore."
Then I think USA will have their own thing to say about that.
I'm just looking out for the corporations. That's all I'm saying.
Of course.
But specifically for Popeyes.
Raccoon, the corporate coon.
Raccoon is the 1%.
Yes. The upper 1%.
So what did y'all think of the gauntlet match?
Very impressive showing by Nia Jax.
Mm-hmm. It surprised me that they had her run the gamut and then run the gauntlet, as it were, and then not win.
Don't let it surprise you. Don't let it surprise you. She's going to be doing that every week till she gets skinny.
Oh.
The thing that surprised me about the match was the burial of Bayley continuing, having her be the first one out, losing almost immediately in squash-like fashion. Yeah. If I was booking that, I would have.
Bayley got squashed, Dana got squashed, Emma got squashed.
I was going to say, you feel bad for Bayley. How about Dana? Dana didn't even last 30 seconds.
Dana's not a former women's champion. Dana's not somebody who they can build stories around or sell merchandise from. The
Bayley is at Bayley.
Dude, little kids still buy that shit.
Not Izzy.
The part of it that surprised me was that they did that because for me, the more compelling story is Bayley and Sasha being the last two.
Mm-hmm.
But, I guess they decided to go another way. So,
are they still going with that Bayley-Sasha feud?
No, they haven't. They
completely dropped it and didn't mention
they haven't done a goddamn thing.
Because it seems like Sasha was obviously very much the face in the main event because people were rooting for her to take down Nia Jax. Right. But I could have sworn when I was watching WrestleMania a few months ago that they were teasing the Sasha heel turn kinda, or in the weeks leading up to it.
They were.
So here's the thing, and we talked about. It's great that the women got the main event spot, and the match itself was fine. Here's my problem, though. There's no fucking direction on the Raw women's. We teased Bayley and Sasha. That never happened. Okay, Alexa got brought over. That kind of mixed plans up a little bit. Sure. So we did Bayley and Alexa. Bayley gets buried. They then start teasing Alexa and Nia. They have one match with an inconclusive decision. Then all of a sudden, they're done with that, and now we're moving on to Sasha, which is a money feud that could have been a good SummerSlam program, but now we're giving it away at hashtag WWE Balls. And I don't know there's no direction to this division. That's the biggest issue I think they have.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. And, I actually thought going into the match, especially as the match started going, that Nia was going to win. All right, we're going to continue with the Nia-Alexa Bliss feud. They had the little moment in the back, and it would have made sense. And I'm like, Sasha will get a good showing. But then she actually won, and I'm like, they can just cook up anybody anytime they want for no reason, and boom, you're the number one contender.
Mm-hmm.
I did like that backstage segment, though, where Alexa was saying to Nia, like, we're so much alike.
And
for those of you listening at home, who are unaware, Roman rearranged his living room, so Raccoon Reigns hasn't really been able to watch wrestling for the past couple of months.
It's true.
You found a way for this week to be on this show, so we appreciate that. But you are a little bit out of the loop on terms of storylines and stuff.
Occasionally, I can sneak a glimpse in through the window.
Right.
But in terms of overall, I got to say the women got a chance to shine in a big spot, and good on them for that. But like I said, I think there is some continuity to the storyline that's lacking. But then again, that's lacking with the men too. So I guess it's just formulaic.
Now, if we're gonna get Sasha and Alexa at WWE Great Balls of Fire, I would hope the program continues to SummerSlam. Maybe there's a schmoz finish, and we get like some type of last woman standing.
If I'm gonna guess, being that it's one of the big four, we're gonna end up with a multi-woman match, whether it's Bayley, Sasha, Alexa, and Nia, or just take out Nia and have a three-way. I don't know. Insert jokes about three-way with those girls in here, and that's probably my guess on where they end up going.
See, that's a shame. I think they could have a good one-on-one match, and they never go with that at the Big Four.
And this is a program, Sasha and Alexa, I think is a program that could have some real steam, some good heat behind it. You could build a good story. The problem is, again, we're just throwing it together out of nowhere a week out from the pay-per-view, and that's it. The thing I will say, and I give them a ton of crap for this, and I will give them credit in this event, they didn't have Sasha beat the champion in order to become the number one contender.
Right.
Yes, right. Finally.
So give them credit for that.
Oh, Sasha earned it. It's about time, but
they found a more creative way to do it than to pin the champion, which is what they've been doing. So
yeah.
Sasha earned it by being the very last person in the gauntlet match.
Yeah, and then over on SmackDown we had Money in the Bank Part 2. I think so. For those who didn't get a chance to see it, they teased James Ellsworth ruining it again, and then Becky got to get her revenge on Ellsworth, and then Carmella walks away still with the briefcase.
My question is, does the security in that building just go on the honor system? Like, we're kicking James Ellsworth out. He's not going to come back. Well, just let him go. He'll be fine.
Yeah. See, that's why you should watch Talking Smack, Raccoon, because that's the first thing Daniel Bryan said was, can we get better security?
Yeah, I got to check out Talking Smack this week. Apparently something interesting happens with Kevin Owens that I missed.
Kevin Owens is amazing on that. We're going to cover that. Don't worry.
And then something about Road Trip. Anyway,
was that Ride Along? You mean
Ride Along? Yeah, whatever the fuck it's called.
Before we get to Money in the Bank Part 2, allow me to say.
You want to talk about Women's Title Part 2?
We opened. Well, we can talk about that, but we'll do that later on. But we opened SmackDown again this week with Carmella cutting what I thought was another really good promo.
Yeah,
agreed.
Now,
agreed.
There were elements of it that were really similar to previous week's promo that she cut, and I would have liked a little more differential, but I thought she delivered it well. She was believable. I thought Daniel was great in that scene, but allow me to give a ton of credit to James Ellsworth because I thought he was great in that segment. I thought his promo work there was really good. Set the whole thing up really nicely, tied everything together because they announced, of course, Ellsworth was banned on Talking Smack last week, which doesn't get to a lot of that SmackDown audience, so they made it a point to bring this whole thing out to set that up for the crowd who didn't see Talking Smack last week. And I thought they did a really good job. I thought that segment was great.
Yeah.
As someone who grew up with the chicken shit heel manager, seeing Ellsworth trying to run away from security was gold. That was and they were dragging him out, and he was like, "No!" That was great.
I liked his dive onto the barricade.
Yeah. Yeah, I did laugh at that.
And the chicken shit heel manager for a woman that's a man, I think, really helps the visual. It sets everything up and makes everything better.
Yeah, when was the last time we saw that, if ever?
Harvey Whippleman with Bertha Faye, maybe?
Ooh, yeah, good pull. You mean Rhonda Singh, the sister of the Singh brothers?
Yeah.
Speaking of that opening segment, Daniel Bryan, I mean, this guy's still so over. It's been, what, 2-3 years since he's wrestled? And he comes out there and they act like it was the day after WrestleMania 30. I mean, it's a shame if he doesn't get back in the ring, and I understand why, but, he's making that show. It's so much better with him on that show.
Wait 400 and some odd days.
I don't want to see him fight Cody Rhodes in Ring of Honor. I'm afraid he's going to get his neck snapped.
Is that happening?
No. We'll talk about that a little bit later too.
Okay.
I did enjoy when he was asking them, well, should we just not have the Money in the Bank tonight and have just give the briefcase back to Carmella? And there were people in the crowd going, yes. Yeah. So I'm like, you're the smart people.
Well, and to Sal's point, Daniel Bryan continues to be over because they haven't seen him wrestle. And unlike Vince McMahon, the fans recognize that the less they see of something, the more they'll want to see it.
It's a novelty idea.
Works for Brock.
Wait, isn't that what they're doing with Ty Dillinger?
Oh, I thought you meant Brock. I thought you were going to say Brock there.
Hey, Ty Dillinger got a dark match this week.
Oh boy.
Hey, the Revival made their in-ring return on main. So yeah, anyways, then we did have the second Money in the Bank ladder match. Of course, the ending was the ending that we should have had at the pay-per-view.
Right.
Question becomes at this point, was this the plan all along, or was this the overreaction or the reaction to the response from the fans? I don't know that we'll ever know for sure. It strikes me as a ratings grab, in which case
exactly.
really irritated.
Exactly.
That's my thought.
Yeah.
But if
I
they
thought the match was good.
Yeah.
I don't know which one I liked better in terms of the work rate. I thought the match maybe at the pay-per-view had more interesting spots to it, but it also wasn't broken up by commercials. So
that's what I was going to say. If anything, the match on Sunday on the pay-per-view was better because it didn't have those commercial breaks.
Raccoon, you okay?
Yeah, I dropped my tie. Sorry.
Okay.
I did really enjoy the spot where Charlotte set up the ladder on the side and ran up the ladder to stop. I think it was Becky climbing up or Natalia, sorry, climbing up the other side. So I thought that was probably the spot that stuck out most for me, other than the end.
But then they also tried to do the pinned underneath the ladder spot, and Tamina was obviously not trapped at all. Which I think is why Charlotte moved the ladder.
Yeah, they fucked that up, I think.
Yeah, but her lifting up the ladder was still pretty impressive.
Yeah.
When they did that same spot with Edge and Jeff Hardy, I think it was the same thing.
It also looked like they might have messed up that last spot too, where Ellsworth went crotch first on top of the rope, because it looked like was it Becky? She had to like get down, or she looked like she was gonna tip the ladder over, and then she moved to the side.
Yeah,
yeah. Awkward.
I also thought Tamina killed herself trying that Superfly splash. That was horrible.
Oh god, she does one of those like knees first splashes that like the Big Boss Man used to do.
That was awful. But other than that, all things considered, I thought the match was good. I thought we got to where we should have been all along.
Yep. And if they, with Carmella as a heel, if they do not now capitalize on her now telling people that she is the first ever two-time women's Money in the Bank winner.
Well, Talking Smack, she said she was the first person to ever win the Money in the Bank twice, which CM Punk would disagree with.
Yeah.
First ever two-time Ms. Money in the Bank. They are missing a
By the way,
gold
for episode 300, allow me just to say, fuck CM Punk.
Oh, good.
What was today's anniversary?
It was the pipe bomb promo.
No, but that was
yesterday.
2 days ago. There was something today that I can't remember what it was.
It was the day after the pipe bomb promo anniversary.
Thanks, Sal. That's helpful.
It was the John Cena debut anniversary.
Oh, that was the same day as the pipe bomb.
It was the 22-year anniversary of Mantar's debut.
Hey, we bring up Mantar. Did he actually have like even a 3-month career on TV, or was it even shorter than that?
I think it was a little longer. Yeah.
Really? Wow.
He got into one of those Royal Rumbles.
There you go. Hey, the ending sequence of that Money in the Bank match when Carmella took the chair. You could tell she didn't really know how to like swing it. She was very hesitant.
Do you think that'll be next week's angle? Is like, it's not a TLC match. You can't use chairs, so we're
gonna do it a third time.
We're doing it next week on the July 4th SmackDown.
I did like the fact that they played into the injury on the knee angle by having her hit her in the knee with the chair first. I thought that was a nice little piece of continuity, because she had just said she basically sold that she injured her knee when she was pulled off the ladder. So they continued with that. I thought that was a nice way to tell that story.
I do have one beef with the match, though, was the fact that Natalya and Charlotte brawled into the crowd.
Yeah, I didn't get that.
Would seem to be a bad idea when people are attempting to climb a ladder in the ring, which is the only way you can win the match. So just saying that's still stupid.
They also had 4 of the ladies pair off and leave Carmella by herself to start the match. So, which I thought was actually a clever spot. I like that.
I would have laughed hysterically if the repeat women's Money in the Bank was as long as the repeat women's title match that happened.
I thought for a second they were going to do that and play up the whole Carmella outsmarted everybody again angle. Just start the match, have the other 4 out of the floor fighting, and Carmella just runs up and grabs a briefcase and wins.
What would they have done for the last 20 minutes of SmackDown?
Celebration.
American Alpha, Ty Dillinger.
Those people don't get on SmackDown.
Shinsuke was barely on the show. Did a backstage segment.
Not necessarily a bad thing.
Oh,
I love Shinsuke. But they've been using him kind of. He should be kept special. He should be like the Brock Lesnar of SmackDown. Instead, he's wrestling 6-man tag matches and pinning Kevin Owens every other week.
Well, they're keeping American Alpha really special. So.
And Kane, too. They're keeping him super special.
He was campaigning. Leave him alone. He was trying to become mayor of Knoxville.
Yeah. I wonder how that's going.
Would you say he's campaigning?
Oh.
That's got to be campaign. Speaking of Great Balls of Fire, Kane should be campaigning there, because come on. I mean, Jesus.
How are we not going to have an Inferno match?
How is it they're not showing the clip of when Kane
hooked
up
to win is to
Kane's
set your
testicles to the
opponent's
battery?
balls on fire?
There you go. Yeah, when Kane set Shane's testicles on fire, that's a good one. Or jump started him, whatever it was. Good times.
I'm sorry, Sal. What were you saying?
Nothing. What's next on the list?
I had to make a balls on fire joke.
Welcome to episode 300. Sal gets bitchy. And by the way, it's balls on fire.
Yep.
Your balls are fired.
We're gonna singe your short and curlies.
Something sizzle scrotum. What else we got here? Anybody else find the Enzo and Cass segment weird?
I thought it made Enzo look like a dumbass for trusting him again.
Yes, but for the entirety of the segment, I'm like, he's gonna hit him. He's gonna hit him. He's gonna hit him. When's he gonna hit him? Which they did. They drew it out.
Yeah, actually, by the end of it, I was like, all right, when's he gonna hit him? Oh, wait, they're leaving the ring. Oh, maybe he's not gonna hit him. Okay, maybe. And then once they got to the top of the ramp and it happened, I was like, oh, okay, they did a good job dragging it out, because for a little while there, I was like, maybe they did reunite. Maybe they want their
like a half a second.
Like maybe they decided that their merchandise sales they don't want them to drop dramatically, so they're going to stay together. But,
well, they did just release a new Enzo and Cass T-shirt, so.
Oh God! How about that shirt?
Did you see the Funko tweet?
No.
After the first attack, Funko put out a tweet. It was like, be sure to get your Enzo and Cass 2-pack when it releases this fall.
Yeah. Speaking of which, you want to talk about money merchandise? That plain black T-shirt Cass was wearing. Woo!
You know what though? That to me was him not reuniting with Enzo. I was like, oh, he's not wearing the new shirt. He's not. That's it. He's gonna attack.
Well,
him.
To be fair, the shirt says Y2 Enzo on it, so it's a little bit of a issue. No, the one thing I will say that I thought was a great little touch in there, because I saw people immediately as soon as Cass walks out, people, why is he coming out to that music? Fuck that. And I thought that was good, because it sold in your head a little bit that maybe they would do the reunion because they hadn't already repackaged Cass with new music and everything. So I thought that was actually a nice touch that they did it that way.
Enzo's acting in that segment was amazing. I mean, even to start the promo when he was saying, forget about wrestling. This is real life. You're my brother. Like I bought in. That was great.
Although I do hate when people in wrestling say it's real life, but it was good. It was good though.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks in a row where Enzo, I think, has really knocked the acting portion out of the park.
Oh, the tier last week. The tier.
Yeah.
Right.
And then add to that he took that bump from Cass just throwing him down the fucking ramp.
Yeah.
That was a great visual. He picked him up like a warrior and just was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And that's something I don't think we've ever actually seen done before. So it was nice to have that be a part of the punctuation mark on the segment.
I got mad. I got mad because I was like, why are they getting back together? They just did this fucking thing. Why are they? And then I got mad at the end of it, being like, why the fuck did I actually fall for that? Like, what the fuck is going on?
See, man, that's what I want in wrestling. I want to get worked, man. I want to get worked.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. That was good. Adam, I'm interested.
I've said it before. I always enjoy when I get worked, but I should know, especially for that, I should know better at this point.
Well, unfortunately, I was sitting there and I'm watching it, and I said to my wife, I'm like, watch, when I get to the top of the ramp, he's going to clothesline him when he's got his hand raised. And
Sure.
Well, I was thinking the ramp. It's got to be on the ramp. Like he's just going to nail him. But Adam, I'm interested in your opinion. Where should Cass, what should he do with Cass next? Should he be repackaged as like a whole new look? Maybe change his hairstyle, or just
please?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely needs a new theme song.
He'll get generic bad guy music. Absolutely.
If they can figure out that the Intercontinental title can be on people that aren't Miz or Dean Ambrose, I wouldn't mind seeing how he can run with a mid-card title reign. But with the program that's currently going on, I don't know how you get there from here, especially if they're going to keep it on Miz for a while.
What about him beating Brock Lesnar?
No.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No.
You guys remember way back when Sid was going after Hogan before WrestleMania 8? He was beating the crap out of all these jobbers and putting them on stretchers.
Yep.
I'd kind of like to see Cass do something similar. Like maybe put like one of those fake Enzo hats on like a jobber and be like, "You want Enzo?" and just like throw him into the stairs and just go on a rampage and then fight the Big Show. That's the obvious story.
Couple things. First off, they just did a similar thing with Strowman. I don't know if they can do the same kind of gimmick with Cass
on the same show.
Right. But second of all, the last thing I want to see is Cass go one-on-one with the Big Show for a lot of reasons. I highlighted last week why I blame the Big Show for Roman Reigns losing fan support. I still maintain that. I still feel like that's a big part of it. That was the moment things started to go bad for Roman.
But Cass is a heel.
Sure. What does that have to do with anything?
Because Big Show was working heel when he faced Roman. Big Show will be working face this time.
There's an obvious thing here, though, because
Big Show's going to flip 5 fucking times before that match happens. Who are you kidding?
That's a good point.
You can do Big Cass versus Big Show, and the loser can no longer call themselves Big. It's right there. It's perfect.
Raccoon's got a point.
Yeah.
And Smathers has joined us in the house in the Smathers Lounge.
Yay!
Says Taz and the Raccoon truly pulling out all the stops.
No, he was just going to say truly pulling out. Jason, do you think he needs a repackage? The Cass?
Here's my concern with Cass. I think I mentioned it before. This just reeks to me of a toy Vince McMahon is going to get tired of really quickly.
True.
I think he doesn't have he's got the size, but I don't think he's got the kind of body Vince likes at that size. And I think that's going to be a problem for him very quickly. I think there'll be a mini run. He'll do a rampaging giant monster thing. And then we'll get him in the ring one-on-one, and we'll see if he can actually pull it off. I saw him with a singles run in NXT when Enzo got hurt, and I wasn't super impressed with it.
But it was also a couple years ago. So
yeah, we'll see. I could be wrong.
I think he had a brief run when Enzo got the concussion too, right? Where he was just kind of coming out. But
yes, and he ended up in a #1 contenders match at that point.
There you go.
He got eliminated first, but you know.
Yeah. And of the two guys, I would be much more worried about Enzo than Cass, because I feel like Enzo's just going to be, jobber to the stars at this point.
See, I think Enzo could go to 205 Live and be a star over there.
Oh, okay.
I think
was it last week or the week before he said he was 206 pounds?
Yeah.
He had a point to say that. No, to me, Enzo is a mouthpiece. He is anybody's manager, anybody's hype man, and that's great. They could use somebody like that with different people. I don't see him on 205 Live. He's just not that good of a wrestler.
He's not that bad of a wrestler. The part of the thing is that people have gotten this image of him as a bad wrestler, in large part because his psychology was to be the guy who just takes the fucking beatings. He didn't get a ton of offense as a face because he was the guy that constantly got the heat during the match. So what happens is, and he's on record on podcast, is saying that's his fucking job, is to take a beating in the match to make the hot tag matter when he makes the tag to Cass. So I'd like to see what he does in a singles atmosphere. I don't think him and Cass is going to be a good program. That said, I think a program of him versus Neville for the Cruiserweight title could be money. The promos leading into it, I think, would be great. I think he'd be great at selling the powerful offense from Neville. And I think he'd be super over, which is something 205 Live is missing. Characters who are super over and people care about.
That is true. If there's one thing that Enzo would bring to 205 Live, people would care about him. And they would get behind him.
If I had a dime for every time I watched 205 Live, I would have zero dimes!
Sal, stop stealing other people's gimmicks. Jesus Christ.
Yep. I just enjoy that line.
It's a good line. It's a good line.
Sal.
Anybody on the side? Anybody making any comments over here? Am I pointing the right way?
Smathers says Enzo got the pair over, turned them both, and let Enzo be the mouthpiece. I don't want Enzo as a mouthpiece. He's too young. He's got talent to get programs over. I wouldn't want to waste him being a mouthpiece. And let's be honest, I think we've learned at this point, Vince does not like managers anymore. It's not.
I was going to say Vince does not like Enzo.
Yeah,
no, I think he likes Enzo fine, but.
Yeah, the manager seems to be a lost art, and that's a damn shame.
It is a damn shame. It's a fucking damn shame. Although I did appreciate Joe grabbing Paul Heyman backstage again.
Oh, yeah. Are we going to talk about that? About Joe sneak attacking Brock and
seems like a decent enough segue.
Turning his head fucking purple?
Yeah, let's start. First off, the backstage segment I thought was fucking money because once again, and the thing, Joe does the little things so well. He understands the crowd so well and how to get an angle over. And when he stepped into the middle of Heyman's interview and no mic, that's a big part of it. Just no mic grabs him and basically, and Heyman, I'm just an advocate.
I'm just an advocate.
I know you're just an advocate. I'm not here to get you. I'm saving that for Brock. Like,
that was good.
That shit was just amazing, and it made you anticipate what was to come later. And what came later was goddamn Fort Knox quality gold. That shit was tremendous because Brock comes out and Joe jumps him, true to his form as a heel, goes for the coquina clutch. But here's the part that I really loved. Brock doesn't just fall into the clutch. He fights it, which is something nobody really seems to do. He makes it look awkward and real, and then he gets the edge on Joe and throws him into the thing. Then Joe gets him right back and chokes him out. And someone mentioned it, the face turning purple. It was fucking excellent. And it was a great way to convince people that fucking Joe has a legitimate shot at this pay-per-view. And that was something a lot of people didn't have going into it. And I thought it was a masterful job. This build has been tremendous. And I have to say, watching this build, it strikes me as Paul Heyman booking this whole angle.
Which is, I've heard that in other places. This screams of something Paul Heyman, or how Paul Heyman would book it. And, Jason, you're exactly right. I mean, they're making Joe in ways that I didn't see happening. Brock fighting the coquina clutch, and I thought they were just going to end up brawling again. But no, Joe hooks it in and chokes him out. And he fucking choked him out. I was like, oh, shit, I did not see that coming.
That segment definitely convinced me that at the pay-per-view, Joe has a legitimate shot at maybe lasting 5 minutes with Brock.
More than Goldberg lasted.
That's right, yeah.
I feel like from a credibility standpoint, it was important here to not have Brock get over on Joe in these segments and the build to the match. I think Joe needed to look like he could legitimately stand toe-to-toe with Brock, and he has. And to me, the most striking part was a couple weeks back when they went face-to-face, and you saw the visual, and the size was not that disparate. Like, Joe was right there with them, and I thought that was a huge visual for them to get for credibility's sake, for the fans.
See, and this is the Joe that he can be. This is what we've been waiting for since he's been called up. It's just this sadistic destroyer. And Vince has to see that this is a guy that you can put in money programs. Maybe it's not the Universal Champion. Not yet. But even after Brock, there's got to be life for Joe after Brock. That's all I'm saying.
But he's too fat, pal.
Well, I think we've pretty much put that to bed, given Kevin Owens and Baron Corbin. And
You're calling Corbin fat?
Have you seen him without the shirt on?
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But he's a little tall, at least, so it evens out a little bit.
Belly button face?
Ugh. But yes.
Classic.
Indubitably. But yes, I still feel like that match against Brock is... I still feel like Brock is probably going to not squash him, but handle him in pretty short order.
Oh, that's what it was. Sorry,
it was a squash match?
The day in this date being the anniversary of something, it was the anniversary of the King of the Ring in '98. That's what it was.
Oh, you mean the one that you and Henry Hugepex covered on the Raw Attitude podcast?
That very same.
Oh, okay.
And who won the King of the Ring again in 1998?
It's Five Knuckle Shuffle time!
Talk about not doing anything with the actual title of King of the Ring. Like, you would never know Shamrock won that King of the Ring. It's just even at SummerSlam, they don't even mention it once.
Nope. And he was jobbing the next month. Not jobbing, but he lost the next month.
It's funny that you bring up that move title because if you listen to the Pritchard show last week, they did a Cena thing. And they had a whole conversation about whether Vince understood that Five Knuckle Shuffle was a euphemism for
apparently not. I've said that ever since the PG era started. We changed the name of the FU to the AA, but it's still the masturbation reference.
Yep.
We're going to do the 5-knuckle shuffle, Dad.
Because Conrad goes on and he's like, guys don't come on like I'm going to do the beat off. Like, get away with this one.
Were you catching it? What were you doing?
The kind of highbrow humor people can expect from 300 episodes of the Rundown.
Absolutely. You got it.
If that doesn't make you go back in the archives and get caught up.
You know, we were talking about Brock in Samoa Joe, and I just started thinking of another Samoan named Joe. How about Reigns to open Raw? He was really good.
Look at Sal, king of the segues.
Reigns was really good to open Raw. I thought his promo was on point. I thought he's playing his role like perfectly. And I got caught up. I thought Braun was going to come out of the ambulance, and I didn't see him attacking from the side. I totally fooled me on that one.
Can I say, so Roman did what Roman always does?
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say always. He's been a lot better.
Fuck the IWC. Anyway,
I was disappointed that Strowman didn't tip the ambulance over again. Come on.
Oh, shit. That reminds me. But no, go ahead, Jason.
One of my favorite parts of this whole thing is that they're playing up the whole Samoa Joe, like the pronunciation. I just love that they're doing that. But no, that segment was great. I thought Roman was great with it. Hold on, y'all might let me talk. You might like this. Yeah, I got choked out last week. Yeah, see, I told you
like it.
That was great. That was knowing the audience and playing to the audience, something that's a lost art with a lot of talent these days. I thought he did a great job of that. And then you get to the set that they held the whole thing with him and Braun back and forth, and he fucking sells like a motherfucker for Braun, throwing him up on the stage, and then the fucking toss into the side of the ambulance. And give them both credit, because it was a very small area for them to work with. There was a very large margin for error there.
Yeah.
And they did a great job of nailing it. And I don't know, you just started Nitromania, Adam, so you may not recall this, but it flashed me back to Rey Mysterio and Kevin Nash and the lawn incident.
The javelin throw.
Yep.
Jason,
back to that.
No, go ahead, Adam.
I was going to say, the only issue that I had with that segment was the sound that they were piping in for the ambulance siren.
Oh, God, that was annoying.
Was giving me flashbacks to Scott Steiner in 2000.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, why the fuck is Scott? He's on the TNA pay-per-view next weekend.
I'm giving him an egg.
Huh?
I've wrestled a lot of countries.
Jason, now you've been around the business for a long time. That throw of that Strowman did of Roman into the side of the ambulance. I mean, don't pull back the curtain, but there's nothing you can do but eat that, right? Like if you're Roman.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely. He just put his body on the line, trusted Strowman, and took a massive bump in order to get the angle over. So that's what the top guys do.
I'm with my freaks, and I'm showing my peaks, and I'm spreading the cheeks.
That is not what the top guys do.
Yeah, exactly. Not top guy stuff.
I've said it before. I'll say it again. If you go back and you watch the 2003 Royal Rumble, please know that we did not cheer that much for Scott Steiner.
That's why I won't watch the 2003 Royal Rumble. It's just, no, it's not going to happen.
No, we can be much more proud about the fact that we gave a standing ovation to Chris Benoit after he won his match. Yeah.
Yeah. Who? Me and Co-Ghost Sean got on TV then, though.
That's true. Giving him a standing ovulation.
Yep. Mistakes happen.
Mistakes happen, like Triple H blading off the back of the belt when he got hit by it.
Yeah, that's some sharp leather. Some sharp leather.
Very sharp leather.
What else do we got here?
We had Goldust's new cameraman
and his old ring attire.
Should have brought out the wig.
I don't think they will.
I did enjoy Corey Graves yelling at Michael Cole. He's a film operator.
I got to tell you, I don't think they're going to do the wig and the robe. I think it's too edgy for their PG product.
I know.
I wish they would go back to dropping the gold dust from the ceiling. Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were gonna.
I remember going to a Raw during that era and seeing the ring crew just scrambling with the brooms to sweep that shit up.
I remember a bunch of times when guys would get thrown to the outside and they'd have the gold thing, the gold shit sticking on their backs. Yeah,
be covered in it. Yeah,
good times. Also, he should go back to his original Gold Dust theme song because that was awesome.
Is that the same theme song?
No, it's slightly different.
Slightly different. That one's got more percussion.
Yes.
Got it.
In fact, Adam's going to splice into the podcast right here.
They should have given me a heads up. I would have just played it on my phone. Speaking of things that they maybe shouldn't have brought back, why are we getting the Punjabi prison?
Because he's Indian.
By the way, where did Jason go?
Oh shit,
we've lost Jason.
He was just there, and then I think he was fixing something. He'll be back. Oh
well, I'm sure he will. No. But yeah,
hooray! No, see, with the Punjabi prison, they did hype it up. To anybody who didn't see the matches 10 years ago, they might actually be interested in this shit.
It looks cool.
I will admit, there have been 2 Punjabi prison matches in WWE history. I have not seen either of them.
Neither have I.
Because I had no interest in seeing either of them. Hey, Jason's back.
Well, one of them did not involve Great Khali because he was dropped from the pay-per-view for having elevated liver enzymes, as a couple other people were that night. Really strange. I think it was Great American Bash.
It was one of the bashes,
06, 07, where the fuck it was.
Yeah, and
Jason's gone again.
That's all right.
No.
He was freezing a little bit, so there may be a connectivity issue going on in Worcester today.
He's an IT guy. He'll fix his difficulties. He'll be back.
Oh, is he? Okay.
He's fine.
It's not going to be like what happened to Raccoon a couple episodes ago.
Oh my god.
Sorry.
No, I know. Bad memories. I was looking forward to that episode too, and I just couldn't get on.
So when you go on Wikipedia and you look up the Punjabi prison match, right?
I enjoy that you pronounce it Wikipedia.
Whatever. It says that there's weapons made of bamboo hanging in the structure. Is that true?
I have never seen a Punjabi prison match.
I'm amazed that it has its own Wikipedia entry, quite frankly.
Well, it doesn't. It's just one of those match types that are like,
I honestly have no idea.
I have to think that the match itself is going to be better because of the people in it. I mean,
absolutely.
You're not going to have Khali and Batista in it.
Actually, here's my question:
versus who?
Big Show versus Taker, man. That was supposed to be the blow off of Taker Khali, and then Khali has
elevated liver enzymes. That's what totally screwed him over. But so here's my question though: what is this? The third straight pay-per-view where Orton and Jinder are going head to head?
Yeah, it's going to be the blow off, and I don't know why you have Randy. I get it. You have Randy Orton lose to Jinder 3 times in a row because it puts Jinder over, but does it? I mean, this is Randy Orton. His matches are kind of boring.
But he's was he 14 now? 15-time world champion?
14-time world champion. And tell me the last time that you said, I can't wait to go back and watch that Randy Orton match.
The one against Foley, maybe.
Was that 10 years ago now?
More than that. It's more like 15 years ago.
I think he had a decent match with Taker at WrestleMania that was also like 12 years ago. And that's, man, I can't think of any time else.
You get your highlights. You get your Seth Rollins RKO at WrestleMania.
Yeah, you get the one-off spots. You get the random like, oh my god, RKO out of nowhere. But he's not known for a guy having classic matches.
What about the House of Horrors? You guys don't want to go back and watch that over?
For all the wrong reasons. Speaking of wrong reasons and right reasons, another quick segue is that Pretty Boy Pitbull Kenny King was eliminated from The Bachelor this week. Bachelorette, that was kind of sad. He acquitted himself very nicely, but just didn't quite get the job done. Wanted to return home to his daughter.
How many people were left when he got eliminated?
I think about 10 are left now.
He didn't even make it to like the final 5.
No.
300 episodes, folks. That's the first time, and hopefully last time, we ever talk about The Bachelorette on this show. Thanks,
what did I miss?
Jason's back.
We were talking about the Punjabi prison.
And The Bachelorette?
No, we're not talking about The Bachelorette.
So while you were talking about the Punjabi prison, did anyone point out the fact that Randy Orton comes out and cuts the promo, and Shane comes out and makes reference to, yeah, I know what it's like when people take shots at your family.
Like when you DDT'd my sister.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I was thinking of the fact that when Legacy was a thing, that Shane came out and beat the shit out of all three of them at one time. Remember that?
Well, and didn't Orton punt Vince McMahon in the head at one
time?
time?
He did. Right. Well, actually, I thought you were going to point out.
DDT'd sister.
Yeah,
so I thought you were going to point out the fact. Oh, sorry. I was just going to say. I thought you were going to point out the fact that Orton came out and Shane said, you can have any, Jinder can have any match you want. Then Jinder comes out and says he wants the Punjabi prison match. And then they just so happen to have a Punjabi prison montage.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Up.
I'm sure he told them in Gorilla before he came out.
Or do they just have montages of every match type queued up? Like if he was like, I want an Inferno match, they'd be like, an Inferno match is a match where people
because you never know.
Their great balls set on fire.
You never know.
Tons and tons of notes.
You never know.
No, I thought it was a good callback.
Smathers on the side says Orton versus Rollins at WrestleMania was fun. I have no idea what that was meant for, but
so what we were saying is, what's the last time? Like we're guaranteed that Jinder versus Orton is going to be better than the previous Punjabi prison matches. But when's the last time you said, I can't wait to go back and watch that Randy Orton match?
Yeah, the match with Rollins was definitely quality.
Pick another one. Wait, pick your all-time favorite Randy Orton match right now on the spot. Go.
It's obviously Randy Orton versus
we
Hulk
picked
Hogan at
ours.
SummerSlam 2006.
No, we were there.
I was there with Kogo.
We picked ours while you were gone. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I snuck in.
Anyway,
because Raccoon had brought up, why is Jinder and Randy doing this 3 pay-per-views in a row?
Because SummerSlam's going to be something different, and they want to have something and kill in between.
Yeah, and I get that. I don't think that. I don't know. Does this really get Jinder over? It's beating Randy 3 times in a row, kinda, but it's Randy, so.
Well, Jinder's in a spot where they have to sort of establish him on the fly while he has the belt, and this is a way to do it. 3 consecutive victories over a former, 13-time world champion, and it also gives Jinder sort of his signature match as he adopts the Punjabi prison as his match, which is something most of the top guys have, sort of a signature match that's their deal.
So, like Undertaker had the casket match?
Yeah, and Bray Wyatt has House of Horrors.
I can't even.
Also, the fact that Jinder referred to the Great Khali as his hero makes me think a little bit less of him.
But they came in related. They were brothers-in-law.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what? Hey, so how is Orton going to lose this match? It's going to be because Khali comes up from the middle of the ring, right?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Oh,
he wouldn't just name drop him.
Oh, hold on, no, because when Randy Orton cut the promo a couple weeks ago of "I'll RKO your whole family," that was what I thought of.
They're brothers. Khali return confirmed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Khali's gonna find some way to fuck that up too.
Yeah. They'll put him on the kiss cam.
The man eliminated himself from a battle royal. Come on.
So did Gail Kim, and she gets a Hall of Fame nod out of it.
Wasn't that Beth Phoenix?
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
Beth Phoenix.
Khali. Yeah.
Beth Phoenix made out with Khali and forced him over the top rope.
Right. Yeah.
And then Gail just like, I'm just going to leave, and just hopped herself over the top rope and left.
Yeah, I remember that.
And pretty much left the company, too, at that point.
And then married that roided-up reality TV star.
Yes.
He's a superstar chef.
Jinder's promo on SmackDown. Jason, I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. It sounded like he was a little bit lost in his promo.
Yeah.
He's not the best on the mic, let's be honest. We're talking about a guy who's learning on the fly. He never had a whole lot of mic time. It's all relatively new to him. And you can make a case that it's a sign that they maybe could have or should have built him a little more and given him more experience in a program going into this. But I think he's pulling it off pretty well. I love his new entrance. I think he looks credible now.
Oh, the entrance is great.
Yeah. No, I love that the red on the light comes out to wherever he's standing.
The carpet.
But like when he came out of the entranceway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the carpet unrolling as he walks down.
Yeah. It's pretty it's quality. It's absolutely quality. His entrance and hey, I wouldn't be mad if Khali came back as his enforcer. I'd be all right with it.
Sure.
I still think Randy Orton should recruit American Alpha to help take out the Singh brothers.
I thought American Alpha were. Oh no, never mind. I'm confusing them with the Revival. Never mind. I'm mixing up my NXT teams.
Hey, I have a question. So how confident is Randy Orton that he's never going to get fired? Like when he was like, "It's Shane. I need to get my hands on Jinder. I'm going to go back there." And I swear to God, I thought he was going to say, "I'm going to shit in his bag."
Yeah.
Well, we just ran through all the things he's done to the McMahon family, right?
Yeah, he goes, "Shane, what are you going to do? Fire me?" And I'm like, yeah, we all know that's never. He's going to be wrestling there until he's 55. They're never going to fire one.
Yeah. Isn't he on 2 strikes, though? If he gets another roid suspension, I thought he's supposed to be automatically fired. But
yeah, please. They'll never get that 3rd strike. And if he does, they'll just call it the 2nd one.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy got hired again.
Yeah, there you go.
He didn't have
But they did fire him first, so at least there's that.
That's true. Yeah, Randy Orton ain't going nowhere, like, ever. But that's why I think he's almost shooting when he says to Shane, "What are you going to do? Fire me?"
Yeah.
By God, it's a wellness violation out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Smathers also commented on Twitter saying Orton versus Bryan versus Batista at Mania was fun.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. That was a good one.
I enjoyed the Shield versus Evolution series.
Not for Randy Orton's part.
That still baffled me, though, the fact that the Shield squashed Evolution. Yeah, Batista. The Shield squashed Evolution, and then the next night, Seth Rollins is like, you know what? I gotta join Triple H, because I just fucking kicked his ass, so obviously I have to join up with him one night later, instead of sticking with these guys who just combined to dominate him one night earlier. But anyway, that's neither here nor there.
I liked his work in Rated RKO.
Again, I look. I liked when he was attacking the McMahons and punting everybody and DDTing Stephanie and then creepily kissing her.
Mm-hmm.
But that was almost 10 years ago.
And the Legend Killer, that was good for a time too.
Again, almost 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Okay, I just pulled up a list. Randy Orton's 10 greatest matches.
All of them are with John Cena.
And all of them are like 10 years ago.
Let's see what we got.
What's number 1?
Unforgiven 2003 versus Shawn Michaels got honorable mention.
I don't remember that happening.
Oh, that was a really good program. That's when Shawn kicked him off his pedestal.
Bragging Rights 2009 versus John Cena.
Oh, what a shock.
Raw 2007 versus Edge.
Yeah.
WrestleMania 23 versus The Undertaker. Those are all the honorable mentions.
Oh, wait, how about the match against Edge where he banged the canvas and separated his shoulder? That was a good one.
Number 10, Vengeance 2004 versus Edge.
Oh, there you go. All right.
Number 9, Raw 2004, Chris Benoit, Edge, and Chris Jericho versus Evolution.
Mm-hmm.
Sense like a theme here. Everything's pretty far in the past. No Mercy 2007 versus Triple H, Last Man Standing. I think that was the lead-in with the Randy Orton and Triple H, Stephanie McMahon bit, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought that was a WrestleMania, but
I don't know. Did they ever fight at WrestleMania? I don't think they ever fought at WrestleMania.
Yeah, they had a main event at WrestleMania
25, but you wouldn't know it because Shawn and Taker stole the show that day.
Oh yeah.
SummerSlam 2004 versus Chris Benoit.
Oh yeah, that was the ill-fated Randy Orton face turn right afterwards, I believe.
Because he won the belt that time.
Yeah, got the thumbs down.
Here's the last time I remember really being into a Randy Orton program. Over the Limit 2011 versus Christian.
Oh yeah.
I really enjoyed that program.
I liked when he got kicked in the balls and lost the title for him.
I was gonna say I didn't care that he kicked him in the balls and lost the title.
I just remember how angry that program made me for how poorly they booked Christian.
Yeah, exactly.
But those matches were fabulous.
Yeah, no, the matches themselves were great, but Christian,
those two guys had
world title reigns I've ever seen.
They had amazing chemistry in the ring.
Yeah.
Number 5, New Year's Revolution 2005 in the Elimination Chamber.
Oh, that's the one where Edge cashed in for the very first time, right?
Yep.
Survivor Series 2003, Team Bischoff versus Team Austin.
God, that was so long ago.
Backlash 2007, John Cena versus Shawn Michaels versus Edge.
What the hell does that have to do with Randy Orton?
It's a fatal 4-way.
Okay.
Randy Orton versus John Cena versus Shawn Michaels versus Edge.
What are you talking about?
Number 2, Backlash 2004 versus Mick Foley, Falls Count Anywhere.
See, that's the one I specified when you were away.
And number 1, SummerSlam 2011 versus Christian.
I thought you were going to say WrestleMania against CM Punk.
Oh. Money in the Bank 2011 was the one where you got kicked in the balls and lost.
Apparently, the people on this list knew you need to say "fuck CM Punk."
All right, so now that we're done running through Randy Orton's career,
you guys asked. I just found the list.
Well, no, I said you, not people on the internet. I said, when was the last time you wanted to watch a Randy Orton match again?
Christian.
Okay, fine.
6 years ago.
I've never said I was a big Randy Orton fan on this show. I've always been, I think the most apt comparison I've made on this show might have been that Randy Orton is like the Tim Duncan of the WWE.
Oh, I like that.
He's really good at what he does, but you don't really care to watch him do it.
He's very safe. He's very fundamental.
Tell that to the Singh brothers.
Yeah. And Tim Duncan was also notorious for shitting in David Robinson's bag. So that's very apt comparison.
I don't understand the references.
Here's something you might understand. What about the new Fashion Vice this week?
I thought that was surprisingly funny. I was ready. Good. I was ready to not like it, but the whole thing with them stealthily taking the Eddie Money tickets. I was like, okay.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Hey, I got 2 tickets to paradise for you.
Yeah. I also liked it was just a little moment where Fandango said to Tyler Breeze, like, I think we were both good cops, and Tyler Breeze like, no, I think we were both great cops. Like completely missing the point that one of them was supposed to be the bad cop. So, thumbs up on Fashion Vice. I thought it was just going to be, like, oh, it's like Fuji Vice, but we're doing it, 25 years later. It's going to be terrible, but it was good.
Well, the cheese tray made me laugh too.
I sort of felt like I was watching Making a Murderer. It's clear these guys were named guilty when they clearly were not.
There you go. If only Troy was on, since that happened right in his neck of the woods, Making a Murderer. Might have been him who did it. I don't know.
And I appreciate the Ascension going, we didn't do it. We just wanted to get on pay-per-view.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is great. And it continues. Now we don't know who destroyed their office.
And it got destroyed during the questioning.
So hold on. I'm going to throw this out here. The fact that they're leaving it open for a little while longer makes me wonder, because if we go back and we think of all the things they've kind of hinted at, they were big guys. They looked a lot alike. I'm thinking this might be the AOP introduction.
Oh,
this is the debut. Oh, the way they debut the Authors of Pain. I completely can see it.
Well, why don't they get Corey Graves on the case since he cracked the big Cass one, like fucking Mick Foley tracking down Rikishi in 2001 or whatever the fuck that was.
Speaking of that though, we had no Kurt Angle text messages this week.
We got a very brief mention of it.
He was watching his phone. He was doing his phone while they were doing the Tumblr backstage in one of the segments.
By the way, that Tumblr is completely fucking pointless.
Yeah, wait, so explain the Kurt Angle texting thing with me. Is this some secret thing he's texting with somebody?
Apparently, years ago, Kurt Angle sent dick pics to Stephanie when he was trying to steal her from Triple H.
Oh yeah,
love
that angle.
Now those dick pics have come to light, and Kurt, with his tiny little pecker, thinks they could ruin him if they went public. So he's afraid. He keeps getting these messages, and apparently, whoever's sending them to him is sending them to Corey Graves because Corey likes cock.
Does he?
I think I pretty much summed that up, right?
Yeah, that's about it.
Did I miss anything?
Wait, is Corey Graves gay or is that a joke?
No, his wife's actually smoking hot.
Oh, okay, right. Just check. Yeah. But anyhow.
No, they did briefly mention it because when Cass came out and he was threatening Corey Graves again, he's like, I don't know what kind of dirt you have on Kurt Angle, but he won't let me touch you. So that was the only mention. But supposedly there's going to be this big reveal, and it's going to lead to Stephanie McMahon coming back on TV.
Mm-hmm.
The dirt he has on him is that if Corey Graves suffers one more concussion, he'll be a vegetable. That's what it is.
Supposedly Angle versus Hunter at SummerSlam, because that's what everybody's clamoring for.
With Stephanie on the line?
I hope so.
Angle and Triple H, I think, legit, that was at SummerSlam 2000 when they were in a triple threat match against the Rocks. We're going 17 years later now at another SummerSlam, huh? That's interesting.
It's the same reason why Triple H put himself in a program with Sting at WrestleMania. He has to do these things when people come in or come back. It's like, whoa.
Actually, here's a fun fact for you. Do you remember when Triple H got Angle up on the announce table and botched the pedigree? It collapsed and Angle landed face first on the concrete.
Yeah,
that was SummerSlam 2000. That was that match.
The referees and the EMTs had to physically stop Kurt from getting back in the ring. Like, no, dude, no, please. Just be dead. Just be dead, okay?
I remember when he went to pedigree, Stephanie and titties are popping out.
I do remember that too.
That was great. That was
classic.
Tits are popping.
I'm gonna beat my wife.
So we talked about all the positive things from the women's division this week. We also saw Lana get her rematch against Naomi, and that was an interesting way to do it. Honestly, I thought that's probably what they should have done at the pay-per-view.
No, well,
I will say this. They gave Lana a hope spot with that, where she hits the slam and a very close 2 count, and legitimately thought they could have been making the switch there.
Oh, can you explain her slam finish to me, by the way? Because it's like she puts your arm behind your back like she's going to break your arm, but then it just basically turns into a flat, like, sky high.
I was going to say it's like a sky high. It's like a sky high where she traps your arm behind you. So the idea, I think, is you land on your arm.
That's just Naomi not selling the arm. Yeah, except nobody ever lands on their arm.
But so they have this match, and then after that hope spot, Naomi gets up, basically kicks her in the head, hits a split-legged moonsault in 47 seconds, beats her.
Yeah.
What do you guys thought? What are your thoughts on it?
I think they don't really see too much happening for Lana at this point as a wrestler. I mean, she still obviously hasn't been doing it for very long, so maybe at this point they're just like, well, we'll get her in there, get her a couple reps, but I don't know. I mean, is it going to what I'm wondering is this going to be a case of like Eva Marie where they're just like, we're not really going to, we don't see too much potential in her, so screw it, or if they're actually going to keep trotting her out there and put her in the rotation to maybe, start having matches with Becky and with whoever the hell else is there.
I mean, she could definitely use a fresh feud with somebody like a Becky, but obviously Becky's intertwined with Ellsworth right now. And I actually heard that's a thing. She wants to fight Ellsworth in a steel cage.
Oh, God.
Also, that's a really horrible way of phrasing that.
She wants to, but they won't do it, so it doesn't matter.
Now, as far as Lana goes, I mean, she could use somebody to work with, and maybe they can give her a little bit of shine. I don't know who that somebody is, because it definitely should not be the SmackDown Women's Champion. And I think was the point of that finish, was just like, no, Naomi's here, Lana's still down here. So,
all right, allow me to be the voice.
Is that Charlotte's tits?
Allow me to be the voice of dissent here and say I actually liked the way this was done. I don't think you want to damage Naomi's credibility by having somebody in their first and second matches really have it be that close, but they gave you enough of a glimmer that Lana had a shot with that brief hope spot there, that she can come back and say, I was this close to being the women's champion, and then build going from there. They were in a tough spot because of the women's ladder match, having everyone else tied up in that. They needed somebody for Naomi to work. I thought Lana stepped in, and you compared it to Eva Marie. I thought we saw a lot better performance in ring than we got from Eva Marie in the past.
Oh yeah, sure.
I think Lana's definitely got a future. She definitely needs to polish things up and get a little better. But I like the whole thing they're doing with her right now. The fans are really into her. And I really just didn't have a problem with it.
Do you agree that her outfit makes her look like a Baywatch lifeguard?
I have no problem with that.
No, I don't either. I think that's where somebody like Mickie James, if she could have stayed on SmackDown, would have been great, because that would have been a great program.
By that, Raccoon, I assume you mean BAE Watch?
Yes, exactly.
Boo.
BOO? Boo Watch?
Yeah. So it's Lana. I like your new theme song.
Thanks for contributing.
I don't.
You don't?
I liked her old one better.
I like this one. It's nice.
I like this one.
I just don't. It was obvious that Lana wasn't going to take the title off of Naomi. And so I don't know why. I don't know why they had to do that again on SmackDown. You could have been perfectly fine. If you got to have Naomi on SmackDown, put Naomi on commentary during the Money in the Bank match. We don't need. I don't think they needed to do that rematch.
Half an hour of Naomi commentary? I don't know about that.
Yeah, it's a little bit much.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I kind of figured they would do it in reverse order, where the Money in the Bank match would be first, and then you could tease a cash in after the women's title match. So, but they didn't. So,
well, realistically, Carmella should have cashed in before the Money in the Bank match because, technically she was still in possession of it, I guess.
Right. Yeah, I made that point last week. Same deal. Yeah, absolutely. Would have made more sense. All right, where do we want to go next, boys? We got a whole list of stuff still to get through.
Let's talk about Mike and Maria.
All right, let's do that.
They got 10 seconds of screen time.
So we talked last week how they weren't even on the show to follow up their pay-per-view debut. They came out this week. They began to do their love gimmick, and Sami Zayn on his way to the ring interrupted and seemed to basically mouth off to them that, hey, this is just my time. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, and then go to the ring. I liked this. It was a subtle way, I think, to set up their first program. Obviously, it's going to be Mike versus Sami, and I'm actually okay with that. I think that's going to be an interesting series of matches to watch, and I think it's a relatively high-profile program for Mike to start off with. I mean, you think back, who's the last person Sami did a program with that didn't come out in a much better position afterwards? He'll make him look like $1 million, so Mike's already really good.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to this. I think this was a nice way to do it.
Yeah, I don't think this is something that Mike needs to make him look good. This is something so the fans can go, oh, hey.
Now, he has never been in WWE before, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
Now, if you are going to go down that route, then have Mike Bennett come out there during the Corbin match.
Mike Kanellis.
And then cost him the match, because you really got me wondering if that's just going to be their gimmick. They're just going to get interrupted every time. I would love a program with Sami. I have no faith they're going to do it, because if they were, they would have started it in that Corbin match.
And interrupting that theme song is just it's just a crime.
You know what though, Sal? Here's the problem though, is that Sami was on 2 straight victories over Corbin, and I think they wanted Corbin to get a decisive victory over Sami to kind of level that out. I think that's why you didn't see it there. I think you'll see it probably next week.
Which is surprising given that he's Mr. Money in the Bank.
Yeah. Smathers on the side.
Corbin, yeesh.
Smathers on the side says, no Dillinger, no Alpha, still no Rusev. Let's get another Lana and Naomi match, blah. Yes and no. Here's the problem. Do you want to see Alpha, Dillinger, or Rusev in a 47-second spot? Because that's what they had time-wise on the show. I'd rather not waste them in one of those kind of spots.
And I think that's the other thing, too, is with Mike and Maria, that
was 47 seconds that Mike and Maria could have used for their entrance.
Damn right.
With Mike and Maria, you could have done that on their second or third appearance on SmackDown. First appearance on SmackDown, you have them get cut off in 10 seconds. Come on.
It's called building a program, Sal.
But you have to build the talent before you build a program.
No, you don't.
Ruined. They're ruined. Ruined.
You don't. You use a program to build the talent.
Especially a brand new person.
You're not going to build Mike Kanellis to a new audience without him having a feud or a story or matches with somebody that they know. You use the people you know to build the new people. This is 101 stuff. Like, this is the pro. Hey, go back. Name me a new talent who's ever gotten over without an old guard putting them over or doing a program with them.
When they first bring out a new talent, it's always vignettes, it's always promos, and it's introducing them to the audience.
What made the Nexus so great when they debuted? They beat the shit out of top guys out of nowhere and were instantly at the top of the card and put themselves in that mix.
None of them really panned out.
Yeah, it's second.
But that has nothing to do with it. That's not the point. The point we're making is we're talking debuts. Nobody can help the fact if somebody doesn't have the charisma to stay on top. We're talking about how you get them to the top.
Hey, I think Daniel Bryan did just fine.
That's true.
True.
Heath Slater still has a job.
Yeah.
Barely. I don't know. There's some other people they've debuted in the past couple of years that, you slowly introduce them.
Smathers on the side says CM Punk didn't need help getting over. And I would venture to say he used a lot of help from John Cena getting over. The original Pipe Bomb promo was aimed at Cena, and Cena worked a great match with him at that Money in the Bank pay-per-view, winning the title, and that was what got CM Punk over. That was the real birth of CM Punk as a top guy.
What about Jeff Hardy? I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, but again, even at that time, CM Punk was sort of seen as the guy who lucked into the title, cashed in at the right time, and to me, he was not a top guy until that Cena feud. You can be WWE champion and still not be a top guy.
Like a gender.
There you go.
Sure. That's a great example. I don't consider Bray Wyatt a top guy.
Now, Bray Wyatt, there's an interesting point, because they did vignettes on Bray Wyatt when he debuted for a while. And to your point, the first person he worked with was Kane, an established veteran.
In a Great Balls of Fire match.
In a Inferno match. Mm-hmm. But I felt like Bray was, maybe because of NXT, he had that, like, you knew what kind of person he was when he first came out there. You were seeing these vignettes for weeks, and then, when they finally debuted, they made a mark, but it was 3 of them. There was 3 of them beating up King.
Okay, Sal, let me prove my point here. Let's think. John Cena debuts against who?
Kurt Angle.
Ruthless aggression.
Sami Zayn debuts against
John Cena.
Kevin Owens debuts against
I guess John Cena.
Okay, are we sensing a theme here? New guys come in, they work a program, even if it's a brief one with a top guy, to establish them as a legitimate top guy.
Then why did Shinsuke work with Dolph?
Because Dolph's a former heavyweight champion. He's coming out and he's one of the top guys on SmackDown. Think of what they've done with Dolph on SmackDown since the brand split. He's been booked as one of their top talents.
He's been in one.
And he's a guy. He's a guy that has name recognition to your fan base that you can go out there and put together a good match and make Shinsuke look like $1 million.
Is that why Corbin got stuck with Dolph for the first 4 months of his career?
Probably, yeah. I don't know that they had the big plans for Corbin that they ended up going with, but yeah, that's probably part of it. Is like, we need somebody to make him look good. That's what those initial programs are. Is we want to put you in there with someone that's going to make you look good and get you exciting to the fan base.
Who was Mojo's original program?
I don't even fucking know. I don't even think he ever had a program.
Also Ziggler. Might have been. I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
Well, I mean, he came right in as Hype Bros, didn't he?
Yes, and I think they worked.
And they're back together.
I think they worked Alpha or the Usos originally, but I don't know.
For the time being.
Actually, on that note of the Hype Bros getting back together, is this just going to be another case of them breaking up yet another tag team in short order?
Yeah.
No more Enzo and Cass. No more, what was it, Tommaso Ciampa and the other guy. No more, what's the other one? There was another one that just broke up too.
No, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano, the Hype and Enzo and Cass.
Enzo and Cass, yep.
I think that was it. I think just the 2 of those. But
I thought there was another one too. Maybe not.
So let's discuss this, because we touched on it a little earlier with the fact that they did the commercials while the match was going on, came back just in time for the actual finish of the match. But over and above that, and to my point a couple weeks ago when we talked about them breaking up, and I dropped the theory that it would be Mojo turning heel and not Ryder. Yep. I think what you saw this week was actually the seeds for that being planted, because Mojo has everything going great, tags in Ryder takes a kick, boom, pin, done, 1, 2, 3. Now Mojo has the credible option to say, listen, I was in there, everything was going great, I tag you in, boom. We got a great tag team opportunity. You get hurt. You cost me again. So you've cost me a tag team title opportunity twice. He's got every reason to turn on Ryder and have it be legitimate. I think that's where we're headed.
Mm-hmm. Woo, 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 you blew it.
and you make a good point in the sense that Zach is a much better sympathetic character than Mojo.
Mm-hmm. People already hate Mojo. You just give them a reason to, and they'll be off and running.
It's the Hype Bros. So if they do nothing but job out for the next 6 months, it's not going to shock me.
I don't think it won't be that long. This is going to be a quick turnaround because they want to push. They want to push Mojo.
As Adam always says, push Mojo out of the 40 store window.
There he goes, Sal, stealing gimmicks again.
Hey, at WrestleMania, if I'm not mistaken, the final two were Mojo and your reigning SmackDown champion. So I smell program.
They already did that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, they tried that already.
Oh, they did? Oh, fuck.
Yeah, Jinder pinned them. So.
Okay. Good. Okay.
They gave Mojo the opportunity to qualify for Money in the Bank, and he lost.
Oh, Jesus.
Thankfully.
He did get some offense in, though. Some good offense against the WWE champ.
Oh, that's good.
And, of course, that match immediately led us to the challenge for next week with the New Day and the Usos in a rap battle.
Oh.
And this has Trainwreck written all over it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now, Jason, I know it annoys the crap out of you when the Usos are faces on Talking Smack, but I actually find it very entertaining.
Oh, I don't mind it.
They are heels, and then they go and Talking Smack and they're complete face.
No, Sal. See, what they did was they're not really faces, because if you watch the whole thing, they're doing their little back and forth with Daniel Bryan, and then at a certain point, it's like, all right, so we figured out we're just going to walk out in all of our matches.
Yes, and Daniel Bryan.
Well, see, I like you guys, but I can't really go along with that. And yeah, so they did drop a little heel into it. I was fine with it. I thought,
at the very end they did. And Daniel Bryan was kind of like being a little wishy-washy, like, I really can't support that.
Well, this is clearly setting up for a stipulation in the rematch down the road. It's gonna be a no count out, no DQ or something.
They're having a rap battle next week, then?
Yes, there's going to be a rap battle between the Usos and the New Day.
And that's going to be...
Daniel Bryan has agreed to be in the Usos' corner. So.
Oh, Jesus.
And they're not calling it a rap battle. They're calling it a rap-off.
Oh, goody. I feel like this is going to be some grab the remote-ish.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. How about the real battle royal that everybody's looking forward to next week?
Hey.
Independence Day Battle Royal starring AJ Styles.
Yeah, as I like to call it, the quickest way to get AJ another shot at Kevin Owens. That's exactly what they planned it out for, and I'm interested to see what they do with this. I'm sort of hoping that they don't end up having it just be that obvious, but at the same time, deep down in my soul, I know that's where we're going. I'm curious to see if we get maybe a Rusev return in this. That would be somewhat logical. Or maybe the returning free agent hops his hat in the ring for an opportunity. And then maybe, somehow, we go... Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Maybe,
Caller, you're on the air.
Maybe...
God damn it, Sal.
Sometime at SummerSlam, we move into Kevin Owens defending.
Oh, wow, we got a door closing sound effect.
Maybe we move into a triple threat with Kevin Owens versus AJ Styles versus John Cena. And that is a match I could get behind for SummerSlam.
Mm. Well, I think since it's the 4th of July, we know how this story goes. Lex Luger's going over. Slammed Yokozuna on the USS Intrepid on the 4th of July. I mean, come on, people. It's obvious.
Something Great American Train Store Nitromania podcast.
That's right. There you go. Good plug. Good plug.
And we still have one topic I know we're going to get to, but I feel like Sal wants to contribute to this one, so I don't want to do it yet.
Speaking of Kevin Owens, though, briefly, what did what apparently did I miss on Talking Smack this week?
Well, first off, Kevin Owens has an Americana t-shirt that they released. And if you haven't seen this thing, you need to check it out because it's a phenomenal design. And it's like Kevin Owens in an Uncle Sam outfit doing with the sort of Barack Obama hope poster feel to it. It's tremendous. But
is he pointing like, I want you?
Yes.
Oh.
So Kevin Owens shows up on Talking Smack this week and has, back and forth with Daniel and Renee. Renee, you're interrupting, so I'm not talking to you anymore. I'm talking to Daniel Bryan. Now, there's this whole back and forth, and Kevin Owens does his thing, and he's, for my money, probably the best promo on his feet in the company, like just improvising and going with the flow. But at a certain point, he's saying, well, how do you continue to lose and then get more opportunities? And Daniel Bryan says, well, you look at the Seahawks, they lose the Super Bowl, and Kevin Owens just stands up. And he looks at him and he says, Well, that's it. You're talking sports. I'm leaving. I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
And he looks at me and goes, Boston Bruins. That's what I know about sports. Cam Neely played for him. And he was, oh yeah, and New York Giants something. And he walks away. And then he comes back and he does, God, don't even remember. He comes back and Renee says something about him being difficult every time he comes on. He walks back on the set, grabs all of Renee's notes, rips them up and throws them in the air.
Yeah.
There's the shirt. Yes. Tremendous.
I just had a thought, and maybe you can enlighten me as to whether this is reasonable. Your surprise winner of the Battle Royal next week is Chris Jericho.
That's possible. I mean, he's back.
If they want to rekindle that.
Yeah, he's back to doing house shows, so it's entirely possible.
Oh, there you go.
But so Owens goes to walk off again. Somebody else says something. He walks on like the front of the table and just stands on the table and almost falls getting off. So it's definitely good entertainment if you want to check it out. I would definitely recommend this week's Talking Smack.
I'm going to have to go back and check that out. Speaking of things that should have been censored.
Is Sal dead?
I don't know.
I think he is.
We may have heard a live murder on episode 300. And the resident slasher guy isn't on. What the fuck?
All of a sudden, Troy appears on Sal's camera.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That would be amazing. We also had an interesting 6-man tag this week as the Hardys and Finn Balor faced off with Elias Sampson and Dublin 07.
Hey, Sal's back. Was that a good phone call?
Yeah, I had to pick up my kids and bring them to bed because they both fell asleep upstairs.
So they started off the match with the concert with Elias Sampson, and you could sort of tell Sheamus was being needled by Cesaro, almost like he was trying to get Sheamus to break and laugh. But they cut off before they can actually sing, and I'm really disappointed. I was hoping to hear Cesaro and Sheamus sing because that would have been amazing.
Did you call him Dublin 07, by the way?
Yes, that's what I called him now.
Okay.
The Hardys come out to a gigantic fucking pop. Los Angeles loved the Hardys. Followed by a great pop for Balor. He gets on the ropes to do his entrance thing, and the Hardys are doing it with him, which I thought was great. Yes, that thing Raccoon is doing right now, for those of you watching on YouTube. And then they had what I thought was a decent 6-man tag. I enjoyed the match.
Yeah. Good times.
Nothing stood out to me as horrible, so I'm sure it was good.
No,
I will say, I haven't been watching very much Raw lately. I've been slagging it a little bit, but top to bottom, I did enjoy Raw this week.
It was one of the better Raws, yeah.
Yeah, it didn't drag as much as the 3-hour Raws I had seen recently have been dragging.
They have been on a run of decent episodes of Raw lately. They really have.
Wait, if we're talking about decent, did we talk about the balls yet?
Hey, I just got a message from Adam saying the hangout is up and everyone's invited.
Oh, sweet.
Goddamn phone.
So, Sal, you want to talk about the balls? You want to get all the way into the balls, huh?
Balls deep, if you will.
Yeah, let's go balls deep in what has been called one of the worst segments in Raw history.
I still say it was not as bad as the Miz TV segment where Michael Strahan hip-tossed Miz and Titus O'Neil, and then they hugged it out afterwards.
Did Michael Strahan call anyone the N-word?
Did he do that?
Yes, LaMelo Ball dropped the N-word twice.
Yes,
I didn't hear that. Wow.
Yeah.
He didn't even do anything, and he somehow got the N-word in there twice.
It would be the worst segment, I think, in Raw recent history, at least, if not for Alexa Bliss, Bailey's This Is Your Life.
So here's why it was worse. Let's start with LeVar Ball running down to the ring like this. Like what was that?
Good work on the audio podcast.
Yes.
Did they tell him to do that, or was he just thinking it was funny?
He's fucking insane, Sal.
I know he's insane. The entire Los Angeles crowd knows he's insane.
This topic is why I wish Troy had come on the show this week.
What this strikes me as, and feel free to chime in if you agree with me, or even if you don't. What this strikes me as was the WWE saying, "Oh, this LeVar Ball guy seems like a natural heel," even though he probably knows nothing about wrestling. So when he got in there, he did the stereotypical shit that he probably thinks wrestlers do, where he's like, taking his shirt off and flexing and talking like really weak smack talk.
No, and the reason I would disagree with that is because he was on Miz TV. So the idea being there, you think he's going to be a giant face, and he's going to come out and align himself with Dean Ambrose.
Yeah, that seemed to be the plan.
Yeah, that was the whole plan. So they thought LeVar Ball was going to go out there and be cheered. Little did they realize Los Angeles fucking hates LeVar Ball too.
Lonzo had face lines. He was very like, I'm very proud to be part of the Lakers and all this other jazz.
And they were booing him, by the way. So good job, Dad. I don't know why the fuck LaMelo was out there in the first place. Nobody knows this kid unless you happen.
Apparently, to say the N-word twice.
Unless you happen to have watched the YouTube video of his lowlights that got released out there of him playing horrible basketball. Other than
By the
that,
way, did anyone else catch LeVar basically calling Lonzo my best son, my most amazing child, the greatest son that I have, while LaMelo, which is a dumb fucking name, was sitting on a stool 2 feet behind him in the ring.
Never mind his third son that wasn't even on the program.
I think my favorite part is LeVar's. There's two guys better than me, and they're both me.
Yeah. I don't know if that made any sense, but that was an interesting line.
Yeah, I don't know.
Here's why this is worse. Here's why this is worse than the Alexa Bliss "This Is Your Life."
Man.
The Alexa Bliss "This Is Your Life" was at least part of a story. This was, hey, these guys have something to do with LA.
Well, it advanced the Ms. Dean Ambrose feud.
Yeah, that's
no, it didn't. No, it did
not. It was.
Let's jam
to.
them.
It was supposed to advance that storyline until LaMelo decided to drop 2 N-bombs and they cut the segment off, because that's when they cut the segment off.
Oh,
when Ambrose came out and LaMelo was yelling at his dad to square up that.
He was like, beat that.
Yeah, twice.
And he said it twice. And he did it. He didn't do it into the mic, but the mic still picked it up because he doesn't know how ring mics work. Because he's a friggin' jobber college basketball player.
So do you think the original plan was for Ambrose to actually go to the ring and they just cut it?
Yeah, because that's why he had the BBB shirt on and everything. So,
and that's why he looked surprised when his music started to play.
Yeah.
And also, LeVar was talking over Ambrose when Ambrose was trying to do his promo.
Yeah, LeVar had no idea. Hey, fucko, your time is up. You're not talking anymore.
Yeah. Now, here's another reason why it was worse. You show Raw all over the world, specifically in Canada and the United States, and nobody in Canada or the United Kingdom, rather, knows who the fuck those people are.
Oh, I'm sorry, because everybody knew who fucking Tracy and the ex-boyfriend were?
No, but that was the point. They knew who Alexa Bliss was.
They knew who Dean Ambrose and The Miz were.
Yeah, but you knew, like, you knew what they were going for. This is your life. This is Bayley's ex. This is Bayley's coach. Whatever. They've seen it before. I don't think the Bayley "This Is Your Life" segment was good at all. I think it was bad, but I think this was just worse.
Is it good to go back and watch it? Like, is that segment enjoyable to go back and rewatch from like, oh wow, this is a really terrible, or is it just so terrible you don't even want to see it again?
No, just don't.
Which "This Is Your Life"? No, just don't.
"This Is Your Life" you can't watch again. You even if you tried, you would be like, I can't sit. I gotta fast forward. I can't sit through this.
Does the Bayley "This Is Your Life" segment feature her boyfriend saying, "You cut me off at second base"?
No, and if it did, that would have been great.
No, but it features the revelation that Bayley's never even kissed a boy.
Oh. Bayley refused to serve me up some of that poontang pie?
I will say they never said that Bayley hasn't kissed a girl.
Oh.
Ew. The only good thing about the "This Is Your Life" segment, and I mentioned it the week that we talked about it too, was Alexa going, Philly, Big Phil, and then winking at him, and he glances at his dick.
Actually, I heard Alexa Bliss doing an interview this week where she referenced that and said basically, like, at a certain point you realize you're out there in a train wreck and you just do something to have fun with it. So I just started giving everyone nicknames, like, hey, Trace, can I call you Trace? But she's like, so it was great for me, but I think at a certain point it just threw the actors off, like they didn't know how to react, and it probably made everything worse.
Now,
Alexa Bliss, the queen of improv.
There's an interesting concept. So they got paid actors for the "This Is Your Life" segment.
What, did you think that was actually Bayley's ex-boyfriend?
No. But hold on. But they got real life people in the balls for this segment. So is it better to get paid actors, or is it better to get people who have no acting skills whatsoever?
Can I just say you just uttered the phrase, they had real life people in the balls.
I would venture to say they do have acting experience because LeVar Ball's been acting like an asshole for quite a while.
Yep.
I would venture to say that they should just use people who are in the business, local people who know how wrestling works.
Fair enough.
It worked amazing for God, now I forgot his name, and you're gonna fucking all chastise me for it. Johnny Vegas.
Nitro. Oh, Johnny Vegas.
Fabulous Johnny Vegas?
Yes, he was
John
he was in the John Cena This Is Your Life segment.
So was Bull Buchanan.
He was seen as a little league coach.
Cena doesn't suck. You suck. Are we talking about that segment?
Smathers with a great point that nobody knew who The Rock's kindergarten teacher was, or the first girlfriend, or whomever else was in that segment, and it was pure gold.
But we damn sure knew who Yerple the Clown was.
And that was the strength of the performers. I think the problem is you're judging a segment that never got to be a segment. They cut it off before the Ambrose and Miz could do whatever they were going to do there. So instead, you got half of a segment. And you're trying to judge it.
And that makes it
Comparatively
worse.
speaking, from a writing standpoint, Bliss and Bailey was a full segment. That's how they designed that shit to go. That's why it's worse.
How long did that go, by the way?
But the Miz TV couldn't
too
even
long.
get to be a full segment because the people that they decided to have on it are the
Sure.
worst human beings.
Sure.
And that
But
makes it worse.
No. That makes it better because we never got to see what the actual plan for the segment was. We got to see that Alexa Bliss thing. That's what they thought would be entertaining.
But no,
you saw what they intended.
So wait a minute. So what you're saying is, much like Val Venus, that segment on Monday featured the balls being cut off too soon?
Well, they didn't cut off Val Venus's balls. They choppy'd his pee-pee.
Oh, right. Well, I just assumed that was included within it as well.
Oh. I don't know that you can make that assumption.
Yeah, well.
Hey, nobody said the N-word during This Is Your Life. That's all I'm saying.
No, that was Michael Hayes backstage.
Nope.
Well, it's because Alexa Bliss probably doesn't know any black people.
Oh.
Other than Titus.
She was on SmackDown. She knows Naomi.
There you go. What is Vince's obsession when they go to LA, when they go to the Staples Center, to have people who don't give a shit about wrestling be on his program?
I think the worst example of that is when he had the beef with the Denver Nuggets owner, and then we got the team.
God.
Yeah. You're an Enos. Yeah.
Apparently, actually,
sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
The funniest part about that was that they were playing the Lakers as the faces in that whole thing.
Yep.
So they had Cena come out in a Lakers jersey, and apparently they took a lot of massaging to get him to agree to do that.
Yeah, I'd imagine.
He did not want to come out wearing a Lakers jersey.
If I'm not mistaken, that was the night Mr. Kennedy made his return, almost injured Orton, and then got fired the next day.
Yes.
So, good times. Good times.
Not only did we have the segment on Miz TV, we had the guy from Transformers.
That's what I was just going to say. Speaking of this,
I'm having a hard time with the fact that Sal is having a difficult time rationalizing that they bring in, people who are relatively famous or hot in the news circles to pump ratings. Like, this is something new. They've been doing this for decades. I don't know why it's a revelation to you.
It's who they're bringing in recently, to be honest with you. It's not working.
The moral of the story is we need more guest hosts, is what you're saying.
Who have they brought in? Need I remind you of fucking Summerfest?
Oh, that whole guest GM was a train wreck within itself. But Donald Trump, for all his faults, was an entertaining storyline when they brought him in as a celebrity. So was Floyd Mayweather.
He bought Raw.
He did. He purchased Monday Night Raw.
He did, yeah.
Hell, some of those
we don't know if he did. He won't release his tax returns, so otherwise we know.
Some of those guest hosts were not terrible, but it seems like recently these guys they have, like, why do I need people like that on commentary though? Like, that didn't make any sense. Nobody even knows who the fuck the Transformers guy is.
How pissed
Josh Duhamel is married to Fergie.
How pissed do you think Vince was when Josh Duhamel said, "Yeah, I was just talking to Vince backstage"?
Oh, that was awesome. I was like, but Vince shouldn't be backstage.
Why? Everyone knows he runs the fucking show, dude.
No, Triple H runs it with Stephanie.
God damn it, Josh! You gave me up. on national television.
said a couple
Josh
other
Duhamel, you're fired.
He said a couple other things too while he was on commentary. It was just like awful. I was like, oh my god, this kayfabe breaking bastard! Get him off my fucking TV.
I think my favorite part of Josh Duhamel on commentary was that he gets up there and Michael Cole's like, so yeah, there's a WWE superstar in this movie, and Duhamel just goes off and says something completely unrelated to that, to the point where Michael Cole eventually has to go, yeah, so Sheamus is in this movie with you, huh?
And then
My
Sheamus,
favorite part.
the heel, and he's like, Sheamus is such a great guy. I met him backstage. We had a nice talk. I'm like, no, you shouldn't be saying that.
Dude,
My favorite part was when he said,
fucking Make-A-Wish kids visiting these guys backstage. Why? Your choice of when you expect kayfabe to be implemented versus not is a little confusing to me.
well, I think the part that really got to me was when he said, I just talked to Vince backstage. He said Sasha's going over in the main event. I thought that was unnecessary.
That would have been amazing.
Imagine. Oh my god.
They had all the matches posted on the wall next to the curtain there. I think.
Yeah, it says they're teasing an Enzo Big Cass reunion, but he's just going to fuck him over again.
Yeah, Sasha
looking
was,
forward to it.
Sasha was underlined. I don't even know it.
So before we get to the finale, I want to throw in, well, not the finale of the show, I should say, but the next segment where
this is the series finale, by the way.
The way we're going, it very
ever.
well might fucking be. But before we get
300 and out.
Throw into a quick topic that I know Adam probably doesn't really give a shit about or know anything about. I don't know about Sal, and I'm probably making a firm guess that Raccoon has no idea what I'm talking about. But this past weekend,
something Cody Rhodes.
Ring of Honor held their Best in the World pay-per-view, one of their biggest pay-per-views of the year.
Named after CM Punk?
Headlined by Christopher Daniels.
Chris Jericho.
Christopher Daniels and Cody Rhodes headlining it for the Ring of Honor Heavyweight Championship. Cody, of course, with the victory, becomes Ring of Honor champion and tweets out a picture that it had been over 30 years since the Rhodes was a world champion, which I thought was really kind of a cool thing to point out. So I want to congratulate Cody Rhodes. Also, they did tapings the next night. A few of our friends from New England took part, and I just wanted to give a shout out Brian Malonis.
Yep. Nice.
Ring of Honor match at the TV tapings. Also, Ashley Vox and Del Miexo, the Sea Stars, were a part of the Kingdom's entrance at the pay-per-view. A lot of other local guys in and around the event. So just wanted to big up and congratulate those guys for their
Cam Zagami and Josh.
Yes, they had a dark match.
Josh Briggs had a dark match before the TV taping. Yeah, I was bummed. I was bummed that I didn't get to go to the either of those, the pay-per-view or the TV taping. It was their whole, but
the match
30 years since the Rhodes have held a world title, Daddy. That's hard times.
That's a pretty good Dusty right there. I'll give him that.
And you in public,
almost as good as my Triple H.
But you also had a strap match between Frankie Kazarian and Hangman Page, and if you haven't seen that, go check it out. Find it somewhere. This wasn't your typical strap match where they drag each other to the corner. They both had straps attached to their wrists, but the straps had like nails and tacks and shit sticking out of them.
Wow.
Very, very brutal match.
Oh, jeez.
No, I am gonna go back and see that. That does sound.
Actually, I did want to follow up on one thing though. Did you say Christopher Daniels was the ROH World Champion going in?
He was, yes.
That's correct.
That seems, I don't know. How old is he? Like 56?
It was his first world title. That's right.
Yeah, they booked it as he'd never been able to get over the hump, and he was nearing the end of his career, and they kind of booked to do the ultimate babyface thing, and he ended up winning the title. Now at the tapings, without getting too spoilery, they kind of did a double turn with him and Cody, so we'll see how that plays out.
Wait, who was the heel and who was the face?
Well, going into the pay-per-view, Cody was the heel, Chris Daniels was the face.
Okay.
And that sort of switched up.
Daniels posted something on Twitter being, basically saying he was upset at how everybody was so happy for Cody Rhodes for winning.
Yeah.
That's a good angle to go with. I am very happy for Cody Rhodes. I think that's amazing that he's a world champion,
Well, and he may be collecting even more gold because this Sunday, New Japan does their Long Beach shows out in California, which is going to be headlined. It's 2 nights. The second night is going to be headlined by Cody Rhodes versus Okada for the IWGP Championship. And a lot of speculation with this that Ring of Honor wouldn't have put the belt on a guy who's about to go lose on a national stage to Okada. Also, for those of you who don't know, the G1 Climax tournament coming up, which is Basically, sort of their Money in the Bank. It's a tournament where the winner gets to pick a time and place to fight for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. It's done with rounds. It's very like a round-robin tournament. It's very convoluted, very involved. If you're not a fan, it's hard to follow sometimes. But the interesting note of it is that they have Okada and Omega in the same block in that tournament, which has led a lot of people to believe that's where Omega gets the win back, Cody gets the title, and then maybe you see Bullet Club versus Bullet Club with Omega challenging Cody. So the interesting note here being that Cody Rhodes may be in line this weekend to become the IWGP Heavyweight Champion.
And at a show called Climax.
No. Climax is the tournament name. That's later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the
Climax, great balls. I can't keep it all straight.
Yes. And the current Ring of Honor Climax of Fire. That's amazing.
And we'll see how it plays out. It's going to be an interesting weekend. You got
that would be something. I mean, he beats Okada for that title at this point. I mean, he's probably the top guy in the business outside of the WWE.
Yeah, you got that, and you got the TNA Slammiversary pay-per-view this weekend too. So it's going to be a busy wrestling weekend on a national level.
I haven't watched Japanese wrestling in a while. Is Mitsuharu Misawa still wrestling, or what's up with that?
No.
Okay.
All right, so I guess that's going to lead us to Adam telling us where we go next, since he's the host.
Nobody heard me say great climax of fire. I say we close with the trivia because that's everybody's favorite part anyway.
Yeah.
So
feel free to play along at home.
So Sal won the newly revamped for a third time fantasy league this week, and
though I don't fucking know how. This scoring is very convoluted.
Yeah,
all I know is Sal was down by a significant amount, had nobody that did anything of significance on SmackDown, and ended up winning by like 20 fucking points. And he had two people on SmackDown. I don't know what happened.
I had Naomi retain her title and get me 35 points.
See, that's,
well, anyway. So wait, are you saying that by virtue of Sal winning the fantasy league, he should get to pick the order for trivia? Is that what you're saying?
No. I have already picked a discussion topic.
Pick the topic?
This is when you tell us what the topic is.
The topic is...
Sal's doing trivia. Okay. Well, are we each doing trivia?
No.
Oh, all right.
Pay attention, Raccoon.
The Raccoon is so confused.
I'm so confused.
So the discussion...
This is where listening to the show when you're not on it would help you, Raccoon.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, this is what you guys are to discuss. It is very apropos, which is not something that
about digging in the dirt with fire implements?
Ugh.
Mongo is the word.
Thank you, Mongo McMichaels.
Yep.
What are some of your favorite rundown moments from the history of this podcast?
Ooh.
We're going to start with Jason.
Well, one of my favorites, because I don't think I've ever laughed that hard on the show, was the night Troy was trying to get me to break during the Jan Ross death announcement.
Oh.
Not my proudest moment at all.
I didn't want to pick that as one of mine because I didn't want you to feel bad.
Not at all my proudest moment, but definitely I think one of the more entertaining moments just because of the awfulness of it. So I guess that's the first thing that pops right into my mind. That and Troy showing live porn on the after show is one of my favorite moments.
Is that forever on YouTube now?
I believe so. As well as Troy's recap of the Paige sex tape, which ironically was in the same episode as the Jan Ross announcement.
Oh, go back and listen to that episode.
Yes.
Raccoon, how about some favorite moments? You've been a long time listener and contributor.
Yep.
Some of your favorite moments from the podcast?
Tough call. I would say that time when we talked about what happened in wrestling that week.
God. Well, Raccoon, since you refuse to, I will put you over.
Okay.
I think it was actually episode 250 where you gave us the Enzo spiel along with your crocodile friend.
Oh, yes.
That was hilarious.
No, Dennis Hopper, it's a rabbit.
Yes, that's right.
No, but then he said,
Bada boom, bunny in a raccoon.
Gators?
Yes.
Definitely Jackson's favorite moment on the run.
Yes, absolutely.
That was episode 250. I'm glad you actually know the number. I would not have known that.
And going way...
You only show up for special occasions, so it's one of those
Exactly.
even round numbers.
Fair point.
going way back in the way back machine, there was an episode that it's unfortunate it's not on YouTube, but Kogo, Sean, and Adam almost killed a man from Europe because he was laughing so hard as Adam was doing his once-in-a-lifetime impression of Ryback's bully character.
That's right. I remember that. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yep. That was one of mine as well.
We were talking about that in the pre-show, actually, before we went on. Yeah.
By the way, I guess Andy's movie ran a lot later than he thought, huh?
Oh, he texted me. He said they're having a tornado watch, so he had to check the weather.
Oh.
There's some storms. There's some storms going on out there in Iowa.
Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through.
Kerry Von Erich.
Yes, the Iowa tornado. Amongst those that have already been mentioned, Jan Ross's death. And
Jan Ross is
laughing at Jan Ross's death, you asshole.
Ghost Sean and I killing a Norwegian man. My favorite moment was honestly the reason that it stayed for so long in the iTunes feed before I finally removed it at the beginning of this year, which was Kogo's Sean breaking into the studio,
yes,
taking over the Christmas show to review Backdoor into China. That was a perennial favorite of mine. I made sure that was episode 42, sub episode alpha. That stayed in the download queue for a long time.
Wow, that long ago.
Yeah, 42. What else? It's been
258 episodes ago.
Oh, there was a really great episode, possibly the greatest of all time. The night that Jason took the 3-for-all title from Adam.
Oh
my God. It was like when Goldberg lost. It was crazy, man.
We all remember where we were on that night.
Yeah, about the same place we are now, actually.
Yeah, the same spot. Same spot.
The only problem is that leading into next week, we're not going to be able to have what happened last year at Great Balls of Fire trivia.
Yeah, that's a good point. We'll just pick whatever July pay-per-view it was.
I'm all right with that.
Fatal 4-way.
Yeah. What else? There's been so many. I mean, it's been fucking 6.5 years at this point.
Troy's review of the Sunny porno was interesting.
Anything involving porn on this show.
Yeah, any porn reviews.
Yeah. It's always great.
There was that time that Josh almost sued Adam and quit the show.
Oh yeah.
That was funny to me. I found it hilarious.
Always good when it gets contentious on the air.
Anytime Andy's on, because anything that 90% of us say, Andy will always react in like shock and horror.
Let us not forget Veronica the fuck.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Sal dropping the N-word in the voicemail.
No, that was Tommy. That was not me. Nope.
Big ass, big titties.
Oh,
are we talking about the porn again?
Carly Anderson.
Blue Gallows.
Yep. Oh, there was something else too that was really good.
Loop Harper.
Loop Hopper, that's right. Loop Hopper and Bray Wyatt, man.
Oh, when Kogo's Sean created that Night Before Christmas poem recapping the year 2011 in wrestling, that was pretty good too.
Troy's epic.
No one remembers that.
No, Troy's epic 1.5 hour rant from a few weeks ago when he just got on here and got pissed and just went off.
The drunk Troy rant was definitely a pretty stellar moment.
It's been fun, you guys.
Indeed.
And now we're
remember that time Adam got chastised by his wife live on air?
Oh, yes. That was one of my favorites.
And now we're all going to kill ourselves.
Everybody drink the Kool-Aid.
I think for episode 300, it would only be fitting if Adam said something nice about the co-hosts on the show.
Oh, here we go.
Didn't I do that on episode 250?
Do it again.
I think we should definitely do it again.
Oh no, it was the year-end awards show that we did because somebody decided that a good category would be your favorite co-host.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. But we should definitely have to have you do it again for sure.
No, I love all you guys.
Come on, Adam.
I'm sad that Troy and Andy aren't here for this.
Let's start with Josh.
Let's not and say we didn't. Yeah, so you're talking about every co-host ever historically.
No, because that would just take way too long. But you can do the main ones. You can do Andy and Troy, of course. Even though they're not here, I'm sure they'll appreciate it. Well, Andy will never hear it, but
the main ones. So Jason and Troy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like there was a point where you did about 100 straight episodes with Andy.
Well, main ones nowadays.
That's true.
No, I appreciate all my co-hosts because nobody wants to listen to me talk to myself.
See, I disagree.
Well, that's the Nitromania podcast.
At least not for 3 hours at a time.
Okay.
I'm good in 10-minute chunks, as you'll find out in the coming weeks. But
and that's what his wife will tell you too.
Oh,
boom! Let's go to the news.
All right, well, we're going to lead off the news this week with some breaking news. The following statement was issued today by Impact Wrestling. Anthem Wrestling Exhibitions, a subsidiary of Anthem Sports and Entertainment Corp. and a parent company of Impact Wrestling, announced today that it has entered into an agreement to acquire Global Force Entertainment, a.k.a. Global Force Wrestling.
Is that Jeff Jarrett's promotion?
Jeff Jarrett, the founder of both Impact Wrestling and Global Force Entertainment, will join Anthem Wrestling Exhibitions as a member of its board of managers, equity owner, and chief creative officer, saying, quote, "We are thrilled to be joining forces with Anthem as a partner to build the business," Karen Jarrett said. This partnership will be complementary of our strengths and bolster our capabilities to grow the Impact Wrestling brand. Ed Nordholm, one of our favorites on this show, as president, and Jeff Jarrett as chief creative officer makes a great tag team, because you've got to throw a wrestling reference in there. We are excited by the progress we have made with Impact Wrestling since acquiring this business in January, said Ed Nordholm, president of Anthem Wrestling Exhibitions. Jeff and his team have been instrumental in this success, and we are pleased that we have reached an agreement on the basis of which we can combine our businesses to continue to grow. Slammiversary 15 will be a fitting occasion to bring the promotions together and merge the titles under the new Impact combined belts. By combining our resources and talent, we can produce the best product for our global audience.
Jarrett then added, quote, "I'm going to go bang Kurt Angle's wife, Slapnuts."
Now, for those who follow the product, you'll be well aware that Slammiversary already featured the two world championships being unified, the women's championship being unified. They recently held, now this is my favorite, a tag team tournament to crown new Global Force tag team champions, and immediately had that tournament won by the TNA tag team champions, thereby unifying the titles.
Huh. Wait, who were the TNA tag team champions?
LAX.
Still LAX is around?
No, they revamped them.
Yeah, it's a new iteration.
What about SEX, Sports Entertainment Extreme, bro? I'm suing James Cornette, bro.
No word yet on what they're going to unify the next-gen title currently held by Cody Rhodes with, but we'll have to stay tuned to find out. Maybe Ed Nordholm can tip us off.
They're gonna have a tournament, and it's gonna be won by the X Division champion.
There you go. Yeah, those two titles have not yet been unified, I assume, but Cody Rhodes is done with TNA, so well, not TNA because he's still married to Brandy Rhodes, but he is done with Impact Wrestling.
Electric cages, bro.
Speaking of which, Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Champion Bobby Lashley has invited President Donald Trump to the July 2nd Slammiversary pay-per-view in Orlando. Lashley and Trump previously worked together at WrestleMania 23 in the Battle of the Billionaires, which saw Trump in Lashley's corner as he defeated Umaga, who had Vince McMahon in his corner. The match ended with Trump shaving Vince's head. Lashley issued the Slammiversary invite to Trump after it was announced that Lucha legend Dos Caras will be supporting his son, GFW Global Champion Alberto Patron, appearing in his corner for the unification title main event. So, big question, guys. Do we think Donald Trump shows up at Slammiversary?
Wait, no, Bobby Lashley is Donald Trump's son?
No, Dos Caras is Alberto Del Rio's father.
Will Page be in Del Rio's corner?
Ah, that's another item we might get to later on in the news. Hashtag foreshadowing. So nobody has any thoughts on
Jason gets
going to be huge.
Jason gets very upset when you try to spoil his news early.
No.
So nobody has any
I
thoughts
try not to talk about Donald Trump.
I say it's very highly unlikely that the real Donald Trump shows up at Slammiversary.
Do you, Sal?
You're saying it's going to be fake Trump and fake Rosie?
It might be fake Trump. We might get a reiteration of fake Trump.
Oof.
I could see fake Trump, maybe. So former Ring of Honor tag team and TV champion Bobby Fish made his WWE NXT debut at this week's Full Sail University tapings. The debut should air on the July 5th or 12th episode. Fish wrestled Aleister Black and was introduced as making his NXT debut. He received a nice pop and which was said to be a good match with Black. It appears as if Fish worked the match as a heel, but there was a respect angle at the end. So, Bobby Fish is a guy I never really got too hugely into. He's very talented.
Great chess player.
I sort of thought that was Bobby Fischer. I sort of thought they would bring maybe him in with Kyle O'Reilly as reincarnating kind of the Red Dragon tag team, because I think NXT could use tag team help. And we know
Kyle O'Reilly is my favorite character from the new Star Wars movies.
Sal really liked that joke.
Yeah,
that was good.
Nerd alert.
Yeah.
So okay, this fucking news is great with all these contributions, guys. Thanks, appreciate it.
I'm trying.
I told you, I've only ever worked one show with Bobby Fish, and the only thing I remember from that show is that after intermission, he came out with a Hitler mustache.
Oh,
and similar to you, Jason, I've never really been into Bobby Fish's work. I haven't really seen much of it, so I really can't speak to it.
Yeah.
The NXT women's division saw several debuts and name changes at the most recent set of events. Tanara Conti, who was announced as an entrant for the inaugural Mae Young Classic.
Questionable last name.
Made her Conti, C-O-N-T-I. Made her NXT in-ring debut on Thursday at a live event in Cocoa, Florida. Teaming with Sonya Deville, the 22-year-old lost to Ruby Riott and Lacey Evans. Riott hit Deville with a wind-up overhead kick to pick up the win. Danielle Carmella, who joined NXT last year, got her new ring name. At the recent set of tapings at Full Sail, the 24-year-old Scottsdale, Arizona native was introduced as Vanessa Bourne, no relation to Evan as far as I know. NXT recruit Bianca Blair also got her new ring name. Blair, who calls herself the EST of NXT, will be known as Bianca Belair going forward.
What's the EST?
I have no idea. Her new name was unveiled Friday at the WWE NXT tapings at Full Sail Live. And I believe all three of these women are going to be in the Mae Young Classic. So starting to cultivate that new talent in the women's division.
Yeah, so look for your Veronica Airborne shirts coming to the NXT shop soon.
So Rachel Ellering, I know, is confirmed for the Mae Young Classic.
That's Rachel Evers.
Rachel Evers.
They changed her name?
Which was really great because she came out to the ring the other day wearing an RE shirt, and that works whatever name she's using. So good on her.
I had heard Santana Garrett, but I know that she was doing tapings with Impact recently, so maybe not.
She's not confirmed yet. There's only a handful that have been confirmed. I think like 1/3 of the field. So
bad news, Garrett.
Now, are they going to take... Now, this would be an interesting concept. If they took the winner of the women's tournament and put her in a program with Asuka and gave her an instant title shot.
Or Asuka says, hey, I'm going up, forfeits the title, and the finals end up being for the belt. Here's my point.
So we don't think they're doing the Ember Moon thing anymore?
I don't know. But of all the names introduced, I've yet to hear really any from the main roster, none from the NXT roster. Well, I mean, from the unknown NXT roster, yes, but I mean, none of your Ruby Riotts, your Lacey Evans, Lacey Evans might be, but your more well-known, your Nikki Crosses, your Peyton Royces, those names don't seem to be in it. And to me, that's sort of, how are you selling me that this tournament is the best women available if the best women you have aren't even in it?
Is the plan at all to bring in some legends, quote unquote, like they did for the Cruiserweight tournament where you had Brian Kendrick and Lita? Oh, Lita actually being in it?
There were rumors of, well, now she's going to call it, so those are probably not going to happen. I had heard other names being tossed around.
I like that you're hedging your bets there.
Serena Deeb was the name I mentioned last week.
Oh, Serena, okay. Has she grown her hair back yet?
I don't know, but she's grown her boobs.
Hey.
Hey-o.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, they've only announced like a third of the competition, so there's still plenty of spots open for the NXT superstars. But on the same point, that you would think that they would announce those first because those are the people that we know.
But no, he brings up a good point because in the Dusty Rhodes Classic, it's full of tag teams that we already know. But in the Cruiserweight Classic last year, they didn't have anybody that we knew. And there was plenty of guys on NXT that were
Tommaso and Johnny Gargano were in there.
Yeah.
And Kendrick wasn't he?
Yeah, we knew Kendrick.
Well, he came back. It wasn't like he was in NXT, but
Tajiri, yeah.
To your, they should probably put Peyton Royce in there, but I don't know. Are they going to do that? Are they going to stick with women who we've never seen before? I guess I don't know.
Right off the bat, my original thing was I would book Sonya Deville to win it because they're playing her up as this badass MMA chick, and I think winning this tournament would be a great way to kind of push her to the top of the NXT card somehow. We'll see what they do with it, but that was my initial thing. We'll have to wait and see who else is in it, obviously. Or maybe Omega just wins the whole thing and then goes on to challenge Asuka because that's what Omega does.
Kenny Omega's in the women's tournament?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe he'll enter himself in there. He could. Kenny Omega can do anything, and he'll get 7 stars for it. So, Impact Wrestling's Thomas Latimer, also known as Bram, a.k.a. the former Mr. Charlotte, was badly injured last week in a match in Rome, Italy. Nick Magnus Aldis, the original Captain Arby's, who worked the show with Latimer, wrote on Twitter that Latimer underwent surgery after suffering a nasty injury. He said that he wouldn't go into specifics because he would let him do that when he wanted to, but he said he would need his surgery went fine. Saying, quote, he was in good spirits but shaken up as it was a nasty injury. Latimer is not in a major program with Impact Wrestling and is not currently advertised for Sunday's Slammiversary pay-per-view. Aldis said that he was told the surgery went fine, but that they were not very forthcoming with more information. So,
you know what that means? Slightly severed spinal cord.
It could be. Want to wish Bram a good recovery. There are stories about him not being the nicest guy in the world, if you will, but you don't want to see anybody injured in the ring. And,
I'm wondering what Tommy Moltisanti would think about someone being injured in Italy during a wrestling match.
Yeah, I'm wondering too. Bram, and I'll give a shout out to Troy right here, who's covering old episodes of NXT on NXT Revisited. Was employed by the WWE as part of the original Ascension. And I always thought the guy was a hell of a talent. I enjoyed his work in TNA, but depending on the severity of this injury, I can't see him going back to TNA. I think his contract was coming up anyway, so. Bram coming to a local high school near you, apparently.
To a local morgue near you.
Well, hopefully that local high school is handicapped accessible.
Jesse Sorensen.
He's fighting again. It took him like 3 years.
Yeah, he was on NXT a couple times.
He was on NXT, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
A couple quick notes. It appears that Carmella has joined the cast of Total Divas as on Thursday, Maurice posted a photo of herself and Carmella with the hashtag Total Divas. So, Carmella probably a good pick of the main roster women at the moment to join the cast. She kind of seems like, of course, they'll be able to delve sort of into her relationship with Cass too, which is another aspect the show likes to do. So, be interesting to see if that has anything to do with why she's now all of a sudden getting pushed into the title picture with winning Money in the Bank. But I don't know. An interesting move by the WWE.
Yeah. I still won't watch.
Well, it's no Bachelorette. Apollo Crews has become a father, as WWE.com announced on Thursday that the Raw superstar and his partner Linda welcomed their first child, Sade Sophia. So welcome to the world.
Sade?
That's what it said. Well, I'm assuming it's Sade. S-A-D-E. So,
wow. Great singer.
Yes. So congratulations to Apollo on the birth of his first child.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Sorry.
Didn't they say something on Raw when he first started hanging out with Titus that he was already a father?
No, that he was about to be a father.
Okay.
Diapers weren't cheap, so you needed to hang out.
Yeah. I remember them going down that route, so I thought he had already had the baby, but congrats.
As Sal informed us earlier, the Mae Young Classic will be called by WWE Hall of Fame announcer Jim Ross, who will be joined on color commentary by four-time women's champion and WWE Hall of Famer Lita. The tournament, named after the WWE Hall of Famer and one of the greatest WWE superstars in history, Mae Young, will feature 32 of the top female competitors from around the world participating in a single elimination tournament. Anybody excited to hear Lita on color commentary?
No.
Have you ever heard Lita on panel?
I heard she gives good panel.
Thank you, Anthony.
Somebody got the joke. Woohoo!
Mm-hmm.
I love that show. Yeah, this is
her and Jim Ross. I feel like they should put a buffer between them because that's not going to work well.
I think Renee Young would be a good buffer in that situation where she's
yeah, absolutely.
Technically with the wrestling stuff, and Lita can handle that, but Renee Young can kind of handle more of the back and forth, discussion, give and take aspect of it.
What I admit on my part is kind of sad is the fact they're having, they're paying tribute to women by having the Mae Young Classic. But as someone like me who never watched Mae Young when she was in her prime, all I think of is, oh yeah, the old broad who showed her tits at Royal Rumble 2000. Got hit in the head with a Jeff Jarrett guitar, took a power bomb by Devon Dudley. Those are my Mae Young memories.
Bubba Ray.
Oh yeah, sorry, Bubba Ray. I shouldn't confuse the two.
Yeah, that Royal Rumble thing is still in the spank bank.
Oh, how could it not be? I mean, geez, I mean, allegedly it was a prosthetic, but that would make sense because there were enough fake tits in the ring at the time. But still, yeah. So that was them hedging their bets and saying that they put fake boobs on Mae Young and it wasn't actually her boobs.
Just to get caught up a little bit on the side, which I missed. Smathers said the christening of the Smathers Lounge was his highlight of the rundown thus far.
Makes sense.
And also says that Kenny Omega can enter the women's tournament if Ellsworth can win the Money in the Bank. Don't gender hate. So
there you go.
Fair point. Speaking of hate, Hulk Hogan and WWE officials are in talks about a return for the Hulkster. With the
Speaking of people saying the N-word like we did earlier.
With the decision of whether or not he wants to return to the company currently being in Hogan's court. According to Fightful.com,
please say no.
It is being said that WWE has reached out to Hogan for a return to the company. The company is said to have approached Hogan with the proposal of a renewed working relationship, and that Vince McMahon has personally touched base with Hogan on the same. It is also being reported that Hogan is currently unsure about whether or not he wants to return because he is in, quote, a good place financially after receiving a $31 million settlement from Gawker. It is also being reported that Hogan is currently out of shape as his weight has soared over 300 pounds. If he were interested in a return, it would be...
in that case, please come back because I want to see that.
Yeah.
If he were interested in a return, it wouldn't be until he got into, quote, Hulkster shape. WWE terminated its contract with Hogan on July 24th, 2015, stating that they are committed to embracing and celebrating individuals from all backgrounds. The termination coincided with the publication by the National Enquirer and Radar Online of an anti-black rant made by Hogan on his controversial leaked sex tape, which he is heard expressing disgust with the notion of his daughter with any black man, referenced by repeated uses of a racial slur favorited by LaMelo Ball. Hogan also admitted to being, quote, a racist to a point.
Vince, I'll come back, dude. Just don't put me with New Day, dude.
No, you just get with that. Get that Von Erich fella to call him fags again.
Oh, what?
The new gay day.
Oh yeah. Well, he didn't say the F word. He said the new gay guys or something accidentally. He slipped up. It's okay.
Again, I only want to see Hulk Hogan come back if it's 300-pound Yokozuna Hulk, because that would just be hysterical. But
his build wrestling weight was always 303, so that's right on Hulkster shape, if you ask me.
So to wrap it up this week, a little bit of questionable news. Question circulating if Paige and Alberto Del Rio have called it quits. Apparently they had a blow-up while vacationing in Orlando on Saturday that resulted in El Patron calling off their relationship, according to SEScoops.com. According to a source close to both of them who was present when it all went down, most of El Patron's friends and family are glad he pulled the plug on the relationship. However, Mike Johnson of PWI Insider is disputing the breakup, saying that the rumors of their relationship ending are incorrect, according to sources close to the couple who reached out to him. He said, quote, "We don't like to delve into the personal stories unless they have an actual bearing on the business end of professional wrestling. But for those who have asked, we are told the rumors of Alberto and Paige relationships ending, according to the sources close to the couple who reached out, are incorrect, according to sources close to the couple who reached out to PWInsider.com. It should be noted that they've broken up at least once before and quickly got back together again. Paige and El Patron apparently responded to rumors of their breakup via Twitter. Shortly after the rumor broke, Paige tweeted, quote, "Relax, people, LOL." Then early Monday morning, El Patron tweeted, "Okay, Marks, leave us alone. Internet shit is internet shit. We are perfect as always." His tweet was deleted a few hours later. El Patron also liked this tweet saying that everybody should be talking about his match against Lashley next Sunday at Slammiversary instead of his relationship with Paige. So whether or not this relationship is over, I think we can all agree it's going down in a fiery plane wreck at some point. It's more a matter of when than if.
Yeah, it's a when thing. Obviously, this was just a big blown out fight, and probably there's a lot of issues that they've had over the past year that, only a couple of them have been made public. But yeah, I don't see them actually getting married. I think that would be a very bad mistake by him.
Yeah, and her.
Well, she's apparently, from what she said on her Twitter, that she's apparently head over heels in love with him, like to the point of like scouring up her body. So,
well,
have you seen those videos?
Yeah, there's something to behold. That's for sure.
Which hole?
Yeah,
the B hole.
Yeah, the B hole. Yeah.
Yeah, that was in there. Yep, definitely. A lot of things were in the B hole. Yes. So that's going to do it for these. That's how we're going to end the news segment on the 300th episode of The Rundown.
That seems strangely fitting.
I was going to say it's fitting.
Yeah.
Fitting right in the B-hole.
Can't think of a more perfect way to get to go into the trivia than talking about Paige's B-hole.
But you already knew that.
Nice.
Thank you, Nick. So trivia?
Yes, please.
All right. Well, so Adam, you're still the defending world champion, are you not?
No.
You actually. Oh, okay. I thought Adam beat you in the interim. I remember you winning, but I thought he won a different one. Never.
Adam has yet to win anything since then.
Oh, well, never mind
since
then.
Adam lost, he has not won any trivia game at all.
Oh, okay.
Downward
well, in that
spiral.
case,
he hasn't won the fantasy league. He hasn't won any trivias.
Well, in that case,
I don't think
Jason,
I've ever won the fantasy league.
Yes, you did. You did once.
Well, Jason, would you like to go first, or would you like to defer?
If I go last, that means I get to answer the last question, correct?
If you go second, you would get to answer the last question.
Well, then I'll do that.
All right. So I guess Adam can go first then, which makes it easy going by your Skype pictures, actually. So give me 1 second here. I'm going to bring in. No, I won't. Screw it.
Nope.
I'll just blacken the screen. Okay. So Adam.
I was hoping for Jonathan Papillon.
He's over there. I just can't reach him from here. You mean it's Andy's dog Zeus? Yeah. So Adam, you get to pick from the first 3 categories, and they are "Oh, you used to know?" questions about famous wrestling concussions. After that, "Forcible entry" questions about the WCW invasion of the WWF, and of course, 605 no longer live questions about Yokozuna.
That's a tough one. I think I'll go, "Oh, you used to know?"
Oh, okay. So, Adam, you get the first question. In 1999, Goldberg famously ended Bret Hart's career by kicking him in the head and accidentally causing a severe concussion to the Hitman. At which major WCW pay-per-view did this happen?
Was it Starrcade?
It was Starrcade. Very good. On the board. Jason, you get the next one. In 2013, Triple H suffered a kayfabe concussion in his match with which returning wrestler?
What year was it?
2013.
Was that the Brock Lesnar?
It was not. Sal, do you remember who it was?
Oh, that would have been my guess.
A returning wrestler in 2013.
Yes. Kayfabe concussion, not a real one.
Was it Sting?
It was not Sting. Adam, do you know the answer?
Brock Lesnar was my guess. 2013. The Undertaker.
I'm surprised none of you guys remembered this. Remember when Curtis Axel made his return?
Oh, Jesus.
They repackaged him.
That's
got
a
the counter.
return?
Yeah. No, I guess, yeah.
All right.
Return renamed. And Sal, you get this one, the third one. Daniel Bryan allegedly suffered a concussion, a real concussion this time, in a match against which wrestler in 2015, which ultimately may have led to his forced retirement?
That was Kane, I believe.
'Twas not Kane.
Ugh.
Adam, do you know who it was?
I believe it was Randy Orton.
'Twas not Randy Orton. Jason, do you know the answer?
Sheamus.
That is correct. We are tied at 1 after the first round, so that means, Jason, you get the next round of clues. You can pick from the Superintendent Chalmers category, which is, of course, questions about Skinner. After that, P.S. I Hate You, questions about Michael P.S. Hayes. And, of course, Did we suck each other's dicks in 68 or 70, where I give you 3 events and you name the year they happen?
I'll go Michael P.S. Hayes.
Oh, good. P.S. I Hate You. So, Jason, what does the P.S. in Hayes' nickname stand for?
Believe it's purely sexy.
You believe the correct answer.
Gross.
Yes. Sal, which up-and-coming WWF tag team did Hayes briefly manage in 1999?
The Hardy Boys.
That is correct.
Yep.
Fucking gross. Tight t-shirt, big pants. Yeah. And Adam, in 2008, Michael P.S. Hayes was suspended for 60 days for using a racial slur during a conversation with which wrestler?
Oh, boy. Oh, sorry, what year was it?
2008.
8.
It's a very racial slur-heavy episode of The Rundown.
Was it Mark Henry?
It was Mark Henry.
Okay. Can I just briefly, going back to the discussion topic, because it's just doing this reminded me of the streak that we had with my favorite free-for-all topic of all time. Mom, what's happening to my body? Questions about first blood matches.
There you go. There you go. So you can name that as your all-time favorite 3-for-all category on the 300th episode.
Oh, it absolutely would be.
Mine too. I'm sad it got picked. But anyway, so let's see. Who picked that? Oh, Jason, you did. So Sal, now you get to pick. And your categories are: when Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're sending Tito Santana. Questions about WrestleMania 4, which took place at Trump Plaza. After that, every time I shoot, I do it for you. Questions about Bryan Adams, a.k.a. Crush. And of course, Ted Turner has Cades. Questions about WCW's Starrcade pay-per-views.
Oh, man, what a bunch of horrible categories.
Go Ted Turner to fuck Adam over.
Yeah, you know what? Let's do the Ted Turner category.
All right, Ted Turner has Cades. So which longtime WCW wrestler competed in a record 10 World Heavyweight Championship matches at Starrcade over the years?
That's got to be the Nature Boy.
That is correct.
That's got to be Flair.
That's right. And we actually, by the way, have a 3-way tie right now. So this is close. Adam, Starrcade 1994's main event was Hulk Hogan versus Ed Leslie. Which gimmick was Leslie using at that time? And yes, this actually main evented a Starrcade.
Well, I know in September of 95 he was Zodiac. So I'm going to guess Zodiac.
It was not the Zodiac. Jason, do you know which one it was?
Believe it was the Butcher.
It was the Butcher, because he butchered his friendship with Hulk Hogan. And Jason, this one's for you as well. Starrcade 1997 drew the highest buy rate of any WCW pay-per-view in history, thanks to a main event which had been built up for over a year. Which 2 wrestlers competed in that main event?
That was Hogan and Sting.
That is correct.
I knew that one.
Yeah, we all knew that one.
Well, Adam, you get to pick the next categories. Going into this round, it is Jason 4, Adam and Sal tied at 2. So, Adam, you'll have to choose wisely. Your categories are 1 + 1 = 2 zeros, where I give you 2 names and you tell me which forgettable tag team they formed. After that, let's get Saddam-ized, questions about WrestleMania 7. And, of course, Technical term 2000, where I give you the technical term of a wrestling move and you tell me the name by which it's better known.
Oh, interesting. It's not going to be WrestleMania 7. I'll tell you that much.
Not a fan of Slaughter's title reign.
Well, if you've listened, well, you don't listen. If you've listened to the last 2 times they've done, what was this match at this pay? I'm not good at that. Oh boy, I think I'm going to go with Technical Team 2000.
Technical term 2000.
Technical term 2000. Sorry.
So the technical term is a delayed vertical suplex power slam. What do we better know that by?
That would be the jackhammer.
That is correct. Jason, you get the next one. Pretty simple one, or simple term anyway. A falling side slam.
Falling side as a finisher?
As a finisher, yep.
Say the DDT.
A falling side slam.
Is there a time limit here?
Yep. I'll give you 5 more seconds.
5, 4, 3.
All right, you can't count down. That's not good. Give me a second thing. I know I'm visualizing the wrong move. I think that's why I'm getting stuck.
Do you have a guess?
Michinoku driver.
It is not the Michinoku driver. Sal, do you know the answer?
I'm just going to go with a sidewalk slam.
It is not a sidewalk slam. Adam, do you have a guess?
A falling side slam?
Falling side slam.
It's one of 2. I'm just going to go with my first instinct and say the rock bottom.
What was your second instinct?
The FU? The AA?
Well, actually, the rock bottom is correct.
All right.
So you get the points for it.
Go team.
How is that a side? No, never mind.
I don't know. He falls down when he gives
never
the thumbs
heard
up.
that. I've never heard that phrase before.
And Sal, you get the next one. The running double knee face breaker.
The running double knee face breaker. I know it as the Elijah Express.
The Elijah Express. I don't know what that one is, but is there another name by which you know it by any chance?
Oh, so we get multiple shots here? He gave an answer.
I just don't know if it's the same move. It might be the same move, but
it was not the correct answer that you were looking for.
No, it's not. No, it's not. All right, Adam. Do you know what the answer is, Adam?
The running. What was it?
Running double knee face breaker.
So no.
The code breaker.
That is correct. Yes, it is the code breaker. Although, is the Elijah Express the same thing?
No, he literally runs at you while you're in the turnbuckle and hits you with 2 knees.
I see. Okay. Well, anyway, so going into the final round, it is Adam 5, Jason 4, Sal 2. So, Jason, choose wisely. Your categories are It's Always Bloody in Philadelphia questions about ECW.
Oh, pick that one.
After that, They're Real and They're Unspectacular, where I give you an active WWE wrestler's name and you tell me his gimmick name. And then, of course, Painful Tug Jobs, questions about matches that Fred Ottman lost.
We're going to ECW.
Yes. ECW, all right. So, Jason, your question. At ECW's first pay-per-view, Barely Legal 1997, which veteran wrestler defeated Raven to win the ECW World Heavyweight Championship?
Terry Funk.
Damn it. That is correct.
I knew that one.
Well, Sal, you get the next one. In 1999, ECW got its first national television exposure when they were given a weekly TV show on which network?
TNN.
I knew that one
TNN,
too.
there you go. And then they dumped them for Raw. And so, Adam, this one is for the win. You're tied at 5, but if you get this, you get the victory. In April 2000, the reigning ECW World Heavyweight Champion defected to WCW, resulting in Paul Heyman filing an injunction because Eric Bischoff allegedly wanted to have that champion throw the title in a garbage can on Nitro.
That had never been done before.
Yeah. Who was that reigning ECW champion?
Say Taz.
Was that not Mike Awesome?
That was Mike Awesome. That is correct. Pulled it out at the end. Adam, you win 6-5-3. Congratulations. You've stolen it back.
I'm protesting falling side slam. I've never heard that expression before.
Adam knew what it was, though.
And no, Adam guessed, and that was the only question in that category I've never heard of. So I'm filing a protest on that.
Also, Jericho doesn't run when he does the code breaker. I'm just
agreed. That whole category should be thrown out, and any points anyone received in it should be thrown out as well.
Fair enough.
I feel like we got a sore loser on our hands.
Well, Adam, it is fitting for episode 300 that you win back your title, but one day you will lose it again.
And what was that category that I won it on?
It's always bloody in Philadelphia.
It was an ECW category that you specifically asked for.
We'll just wait until the next what happened last year on the pay-per-view. So
absolutely.
You'll get your revenge at Rundown episode 350.
Yeah.
I'll get my revenge at next week's rundown when we go through whatever happened at July's pay-per-view last year.
There you go.
All right. So
what was July's pay-per-view?
No. It was actually Battleground, which SmackDown is still doing. So I don't know what they do at that point then.
Oh. Good to know. Oh, that's the July pay-per-view. Okay, that's good to know.
So unless anybody has anything else to add.
Happy 300. That's a perfect bowling score.
It is. Indeed.
That's right.
It's also a movie about some Spartans.
It's a movie about abs. It's a movie about
all of the
abs.
wrestling podcasts that have pod faded.
That's still not a word.
Just you, Cabana, and Austin have
And
300
Jericho.
episodes. And Jericho.
Oh, real? Oh, Jericho is does he have 300?
Actually, I don't know if Jericho's hit 300 yet because
No,
he
he might not.
never made a big deal about it. So he might not.
He's twice a week, so I'd imagine.
Yeah, that doesn't really count. But that's it, man. You're in elite company. You, Austin, and Cabana.
Wow. Pretty impressive.
How is Austin at 300? He hasn't been doing it that long.
Because he does it a week.
Twice a
Doesn't
week.
He does twice a week. Yeah.
If twice a week doesn't count for Jericho, then it doesn't count for Austin either.
Well, Austin started like a year before Jericho.
Doesn't he have like two separate ones, like the censored and the uncensored?
Yes.
But it's the same guest
They're
size.
both the Steve Austin show.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that does it for the 300th episode of the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. We got plugs here. It's Thursday, June 28th, 2000. No, it's Wednesday. Sorry, June 27th, 2017.
No, it's Wednesday, June 28th, but that's okay.
Yep, I put Thursday, June 28th on my notes. Anyway, 453 days since Asuka won the NXT Women's Championship.
God damn.
Also, I'm going to give quick props to Smathers on the side because apparently he was playing along during 3-for-all.
Oh.
which
might count as cheating if you read those answers, but that's okay.
So that's how Adam knew it was a rock bottom.
I don't look at the chat room.
Oh, so you're saying Smathers is posting all in vain?
No, Jason's in charge of the chat room. So if anybody's cheating, it was Jason.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Smathers says he got 3 points, so he's very proud of himself.
There you go. Would have come in third place.
He also said that the only current wrestling podcast he listens to is this, Pritchard and the Raw Attitude.
Oh.
So he loves this show.
Beautiful.
Shout out to Smathers then. All right. Good taste.
You've got the answers on a card.
Except for Pritchard. Fuck Pritchard.
God damn. For a free audiobook and a 30-day free trial of Audible, go to audibletrial.com/rundown. Like Troy said earlier, get those books he talked about.
You could buy on your Audible, maybe buy If They Only Knew by China.
Now, what was the variation of the rock bottom called? Was it the falling side slam?
Falling side slam.
Okay, Google doesn't fucking know it. So I again issue a protest.
All right.
I Google falling side slam and I get power slam. So there is no reference on the top page to the rock bottom. I feel if the answer is not on Google, I feel like this protest we need to have the title should be held in abeyance.
Yes. Well, I sent a direct message to The Rock on Twitter, and he told me that's what it was called.
I believe the title is in abeyance. I'm just saying.
Okay, fair enough.
Controversial ending to 3-for-all.
Controversy creates cash.
I defer to our MC.
I feel like
actually,
I feel like for controversy to end trivia on 300 is a perfect way to do it.
Well, actually, could you buy the book Controversy Creates Cash with your free Audible trial?
Of course.
I already own it in hardcover. So
There you go.
Have you read it yet?
some of it.
You
Yeah,
could
okay.
try to buy Vince Russo's book, but it would pop up a message. Are you really sure, bro? Are you really sure, bro?
Yeah.
Really sure, bro?
Which Russo book?
And then it would call you gay.
Yeah. Would you buy the Vince Russo book Forgiven or How the Wrestling Industry Killed Vince Russo or whatever the fuck it's called?
Who cares? We don't talk about him on the show because he's a douchebag.
Yeah. Bro.
Plugs. According to Troy, Bruce City Wrestling. What was that noise that you just made?
Never mind. So we definitely said falling side slam, right?
Mhm.
Okay. It's the lifting side slam.
Oh.
So the question given to me was,
Lifting, falling, what's the difference?
there's a big difference. It's formatted incorrectly, which caused me to not be able to get the answer.
Every time
I would have got it, but
How many times have we driven down the street and seen that sign that says beware of lifting rocks? Happens all the time.
abeyance it is. Abeyance is your rundown trivia champion.
Fair enough.
Sore losers. Bruce City Wrestling returns to the world's largest music festival, Summerfest.
Oh, God.
At Henry Meyer Festival Park on Milwaukee's lakefront with the first night of Slamapalooza on Saturday, July 1st with a 5 p.m. bell time. It will be located on the basketball court at the Sports Zone. The show is free with paid admission to the festival. Go to summerfest.com for all listings for entertainment. Go to brewcitywrestling1.com for more information on that.
Former rundown sit-down guest, the fabled one, Aesop Mitchell, will be on that show, so go check that out.
One quick note, if you go to The Rock's Wikipedia page and go to his in wrestling section next to Rock Bottom, it does say Falling Side Slam, and it does have its own Wikipedia entry.
That's entered by fans. That has nothing to do with anything. I could write.
That's entered by Raccoon about 2 seconds ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Falling Side Slam enter. Also called the Uranagi, if you will.
If you will.
If you will.
Jason.
Yeah.
What might we be doing on the 23rd of July?
Well, it's a special event for you, Adam, so I'll let you fill people in on that. Since you were just added to a very special event.
And I appreciate you doing that for me. The El Mundo Fan Fest, Sunday, July 23rd at the prestigious, the historic Fenway Park in Boston, Massachusetts. Is there a lineup for that? Is there anything?
No, nothing yet. No announcements yet.
But it's an all-day long carnival.
Yes.
You guys did it last year. Had a great time. I'm very beyond thrilled to be allowed to take part this year. And again, I thank you for that publicly. So be on the lookout for that on July 23rd.
That's a Fenway. So John Cena has confirmed he's going to go to that because it's in his backyard, I think, right?
Of course. He's going to skip out on SmackDown just for that.
Absolutely.
Daniel Price has joined us on the side. Better late than never, Daniel. He asks the question, is that a Dusty Rhodes raccoon?
Indeed it is.
At times, he is a Dusty Rhodes raccoon.
You missed the Dusty Rhodes impression. There was
I think you was responding to the fact that I just said, if you will.
Tell Price he needs to pitch better.
He said someone on a podcast I go to made an offer for me to call in and shoot on Meltzer. I'm very tempted. Okay, anyone wants to shoot on Meltzer, you go right ahead. Smather says, to be fair, there's 3 or 4 minute delay on the chat room, so it negates any chatting or cheating. Sorry.
Oh, is it that long? God damn.
I don't think so. I haven't noticed that, but we'll have to check next time. And said Daniel Price said his review of Dominion was an insult to Naito. So,
controversy creating cash over here on the side as well.
Yeah,
going at Meltzer hard.
So we're gonna have to schedule the showdown between Adam and I to determine who is the rightful.
We could do episode 300 sub alpha and settle it.
We might have to do that.
I think so.
Is there a website for El Mundo Fan Fest?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. Look for it on Facebook.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's
Johnny Mundo.
Yes, and then
we'll be updating you in the coming weeks as more information becomes available.
What are we doing the next Sunday there?
What are we doing the next Sunday? Oh, we have Yankee Homecoming with Atlantic Pro Wrestling live, Newbury's Old Town festival. Every year we do it. It's a big outside event. Free show. Come out, see the stars of Atlantic Pro Wrestling compete for free. And we will be crowning the first ever king of APW with the qualifying matches beginning that day. Again, free show. Can't go wrong.
Free
Actually,
show.
well, that actually reminds me, because next Tuesday, I have a quick plug, if I may.
Go for it.
Annually, you know that the Bedford Insane Asylum every 4th of July does their special event called In Demented's Day, where they let their inmates loose in a field with nothing but a sock full of nickels and a frozen rainbow trout. So definitely check that out.
I think the rainbow trout is new this year.
Yeah, it's a new tradition, but the trout is new this year.
Jason,
Yeah.
how did the APW show go with the send-off for Demon Ortiz?
Oh, it was great. It was a very cool thing to be a part of. I actually was Rich Palladino was the ring announcer that night. Did an amazing job, as Rich Palladino always does.
Yep.
And
former rundown sit down guest, Rich Palladino.
yes, yes. And ironically, he was supposed to introduce Demon for the segment. About 5 minutes before we were supposed to go up, he's like, "You know what? You work here with them all the time. You should do it." So I went up there with nothing prepared, winged it, but everyone seemed to appreciate the intro I gave him, and just. I've known Louis a long, long time, since he was training back at Killer Kowalski's Institute. So to be able to be the last person to introduce him to a ring is something I'm going to carry with me for a long time. A very special thing for me. So.
Well, actually, so wait, on that note, at the Fenway Park show, will they be retiring Demon Ortiz's number? I'll take that as a yes.
Yeah, just leaving that one out there.
Just let that one soak. So that is the 30th at Old Yankee Homecoming in Newbury, Mass. Again, free on the Bartlett Mall.
Daniel liked your announcement. Raccoon says 3 stages of Asylum Hell, sock of nickels, frozen trout slap, and lithium on a pole match.
There you go. I'm sorry. He's right. I forgot to add that part at the end. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm glad he reminded me.
Is Judy Bagwell on the pole holding the lithium? Or?
She is, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Holding a pinata as well.
Okay.
That she drops immediately.
As Oklahoma sits by at ringside.
Fun times ahead for the Nitromania podcast.
Juventud Guerrero, the great linebacker from Tijuana State. That actually happened. All right. Anyway.
Lucky Pro Wrestling presents Summer Sizzle Saturday, August 5th at the Elks Hall in Clinton, Massachusetts. Already announced for that show. Vern Vicalo defending the LPW championship against Robo, the Punjabi Lion.
Is it a Punjabi prison match?
It's not. There's no room for a Punjabi prison at the Clinton Elks Hall.
It could be a very small prison.
It's a prison of your mind.
It's Abu Ghraib.
Davian, Jesus, defending the LPW Women's Championship.
Are there limits in that match?
Davian defending the LPW Women's
No,
Championship.
this is Lucky Pro Wrestling, not Limits Pro Wrestling.
Against Deanna Purrazzo, former NXT star Deanna Purrazzo. A special challenge match, Sweat Boy Christopher James versus a mercenary of Brian. Sweat Boy versus a mercenary of Brian Cairo's choosing. If Sweat Boy should defeat the wrestler of Brian Cairo's choosing, then Sweat Boy gets 3 minutes in the ring alone with Brian Cairo.
Wasn't he in the flock, Sweat Boy?
Yeah, I thought he was the guy who mops up in between timeouts at the Celtics game.
Yeah, he's got the towel. He wipes Brian Cairo's sweat off his forehead.
Oh, there you go.
You were talking about today's anniversaries earlier. Today is actually the 20th anniversary of the Evander Holyfield Mike Tyson ear biting incident.
Oh,
there you go.
Oh. See, I thought you were going to say it was the 10th anniversary of LeBron's decision, but I think that's a couple weeks away.
Well, actually, that's an important moment for wrestling, too, because they suspended Tyson, which enabled him to work with the WWE and help kickstart the Attitude Era. So there you go.
Which you can hear all about on the Raw Attitude podcast.
Oh, there you go. What do you know? I was going to plug that in just a little bit, but thank you.
Yes, also appearing the new LPW Hard Knocks champion, Brick Mastone, the LPW Tag Team Champions, the Aristocrats, plus Donovan Dijak, Mikey Webb, Scotty Slade, the Three Horsemen of LPW, Adira, Isana, Jim Anderson, Anthony Green, Cam Zagami, Bo Douglas, more to be announced, all on August 5th at the Elks Hall in Clinton, Massachusetts. So come on out. for that. Liberty States returns Saturday, September 9th. ElkMania presents ElkMania 5 on Saturday. Saturday, September 23rd at the Beverly Salem Elks Lodge in Beverly, Mass. More info on those shows as they get closer.
In the beginning, there was a match.
Like a wrestling match or like a strike anywhere match?
Flames shot everywhere.
Okay, strike anywhere match. Okay.
But actually, that pun reminds me of the time that TNA put a thing across the bottom saying, "What's your favorite Jeff Hardy match?" And somebody wrote the one that he used to burn down his house.
Oh.
So just tying that together.
Yeah, no, my favorite one is still Victory Road with Sting.
Oh. Yeah, that's a classic.
What do you do if Roman walks in right now, Raccoon? Are you even supposed to be there?
No, I hide, but I turn off the computer really quickly so he doesn't get mad at me for using it.
Oh, I thought you just went, hey, what up, Bog Dog?
And then I duck a Superman punch.
Is he like, you'll never be Samoan to me, Raccoon?
Believe that.
On the plus side, you'll hear an ambulance siren beforehand. So
That's right. He's a little incapacitated at the moment, so I feel pretty safe to know that he's not going to come back anytime soon.
Plus, they'll play the song, pal.
That's right.
Roman Reigns. Follow us on Twitter at Rundown Podcast. Send us an email to rundownwrestling@gmail.com and leave a voicemail on the hotline like Tommy did, like Troy did, like Jackson did, like my grandmother did from her new phone number. 617-863-6967. That's 61 Rundown 7.
Allow me to just say we're dropping a new episode of the Sit Down this week, one I'm very excited for to put out there. Still have to edit it together, but once we do that, I'll be ready to go. But for those of you who are interested in hearing more guests, I've had a couple suggestions. You can follow me on Twitter at jstewart0920. That's STUART0920. And you can send me your suggestions of who you would like to hear on the Rundown Sit Down. Doesn't have to necessarily be somebody from New England. I can reach out with some connections to other people. Caveat being WWE guys aren't allowed to do it. So
what about former WWE guys that are no longer with the company?
Depends on who they are, but they tend to charge money for that stuff.
Oh, God. You can get Billy Gunn. Yeah, you can get Billy Gunn.
Well, you laugh, but Billy Gunn will be a big part of the New Japan shows this weekend.
Oh.
He's actually competing in New Japan regularly now.
Under what name?
Billy Gunn.
Really? Okay. That's good. I would assume WWE would own that name, but never mind.
They have no interest.
Yeah. No, they're like, you can be the one Billy Gunn, but you can't be Mr. Ass.
Well, see, actually, Raccoon, that name is trademarked in the United States.
Oh,
so it will be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see what he uses in Japan when Japan comes over to the United States, if he gets away with using it for the weekend.
Gilly Bun.
Yeah, or you can go by his real name, Monty Sop. What an awful name.
Kip
Billy.
Sop.
Just Billy.
Oh, Kip Sop. Oh, I thought it was Monty. What is that?
Oh, it's Kip.
Apparently Kip is a nickname.
Yeah.
Is everything that I read. But
anyway.
Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/rundownwrestling. Watch archived episodes at youtube.com/rundownpodcast.
He was a one-time victim of the fucking falling side slam, so.
More than that.
He also got shoved in that large woman's ass.
That's right. Also, his real name is
Monty. Wait, are we talking about the Sunny video again?
Apparently his real name is Monty Kip Sop, so I was right.
We were both right. If you'd like to make a donation of the monetary variety, go to paypal.me/rundownwrestling. Costs me money to host this each month on Podomatic. If you want to help out with that, it would be greatly appreciated. Thanks.
Oh, you know what? Actually, for the record, there's one thing we said we were going to circle back to later that we didn't. So allow me to do that real quick. Raccoon Reigns, you had asked about the reference to Daniel Bryan in 400 Days. When Cody Rhodes won the Ring of Honor title, tweeted a picture of himself. Daniel Bryan tweeted back, "Congratulations! In about 400 days, if you're still holding it, I might have to come take it from you." So
I think he's at 462 days.
Yeah.
What date that was.
Another reference to the fact that Daniel Bryan still plans, and I guess to a date now, we have an exact date of when his contract with WWE expires.
Wow.
And still planning on going out and wrestling again elsewhere. So,
the best part is since he's the SmackDown GM, he's going to schedule himself a WWE title match the night before his contract expires, and then he's going to leave with the belt.
That would be smart.
Daniel Price on the side again says New Japan is miles ahead of WWE right now. He really hopes they gain a strong foothold in the U.S., and they're already making good headway to doing so. We'll see if that carries over. I think this weekend shows will go a long way to tell us where we're at in that regard. And then says Cody also said that CM Punk was welcome to come home to Ring of Honor. And Daniel, you must be new because on this show we have a very strict policy. Fuck CM Punk.
Hashtag
Forced anal.
Thank you. Check out all the shows on the Questionable.
How did we almost get through the 300th episode without hashtag forced anal? God damn it. Thank you, Daniel, for making that happen.
Forcible entry.
.tumblr.com. Questionable Endeavor Network. Check out Shadow Vein, Tooning Japanese. New episode just went up yesterday, I believe, for that. A little something called the Raw Attitude Podcast.
Yeah. Didn't you just guest star on the Raw Attitude? Oh, no, you did. Well, I mean, not too recently. You were on a couple months ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I will say about the Raw Attitude Podcast.
You're confusing me with Martin Dixon again.
Yes. Well, actually, it was William Rankin who just appeared on the show. William Rankin from the New Blood Rising podcast just did the most recent episode with Henry Hugebex, the Suplex Throwing Human Duplex, the SummerSlam 1998 / Raw recap. Went about 3 hours. Awesome show. Definitely listen to it. Raw Attitude Podcast, chronologically recapping every episode of Monday Night Raw from the Attitude Era. Daniel Price, you might want to check that one out. Great show. Raw Attitude Podcast.
Speaking of going about 3 hours.
Yeah. Yep. And the inspiration for my new series here, filling in the breaks in NXT Revisited while Troy is on his hiatus.
Just fucking commit. You waffling bastard. Just commit. This is a new show.
A little show called Nitromania. Check that out. Episode 1 posted yesterday. Send me your feedback. Leave it on the Facebook page. Leave it on Twitter. Or email rundownwrestling@gmail.com and tell me what you think. Where the fuck was I?
If Pastamania...
There has been some discussion of a potential crossover. I'm just saying. Stay tuned.
It's going to happen.
What were you saying about Pastamania?
If Pastamania is on the first episode of Nitro, I'll give credit to you if you make it through the next 3.
Well,
by the way, I mentioned earlier that Pasta Mania thing was part of the Tony Schiavone show. They actually sell a T-shirt that says "Pasta still rules." So.
That is it in the Hulk Hogan font as well?
It is. Oh, absolutely, yeah. Red and yellow.
Beautiful.
Episode 2 is already recorded. It'll go up next week.
I can still see the picture of Hulk Hogan like holding up the fork with the pasta on it with that huge stupid smile on his face and the chef hat. It's amazing. Lots of great memories of Pastamania.
And then episode 3 will be Fall Brawl 95, which I've been told is the greatest worst.
Is that the one with Jesse Hyatt and the Nasty Boys?
I
think that's a few years. That's a few years prior, I think.
That outfit she wore that night still sticks in my brain.
Oh,
I might have to go rewatch that.
That's the skin-tight leopard print.
The only match that they have promoted for this pay-per-view on the episodes of Nitro, on the first 2 episodes of Nitro, this is a spoiler alert for the next episode of Nitromania, but the only match that they've promoted on the first 2 episodes of Monday Nitro for this Fall Brawl is the War Games match between Team Hogan and the Dungeon of Doom. That's it. I have no idea what the fuck else is on the card. So
yeah,
I don't know if this is in relation to that Fall Brawl, but Daniel said Hawk cut a promo where he said he was going to rape Ric Flair. Schiavone looked like he was about to piss his pants.
Yeah, I have no Tony.
Well,
so yes, what a Slasher Sanitarium.
Speaking of forced anal,
the Slasher Sanitarium or Hawk and anyway, Slasher Sanitarium on Quest End as well. Also, the Pwn Stars, our friends as Raccoon just mentioned over at New Blood Rising, and the Words of Geekdom podcast. Check all that out at questendnetwork.com. At Quest End Network on Twitter and questendnetwork.com/Discord to check out our channel on the Discord app.
Did you say Tooning Japanese?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Tooning Japanese comes before Raw Attitude Podcast.
Got it.
Whoa, hey, whoa.
Just on my list. Just on my list.
Okay, all right.
Check out our friends over at the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing. Brian Malonis, the Kingpin, former Rundown sit-down guest, and his pal Mike Crockett. 2 shows a week, right?
Yes, Monday and Thursday. One on the New Age Insiders feed, the other on the Wrestling Podcast About Nothing feed, so you can find them both. They are on different feeds twice a week.
And they can be found over at facebook.com/thewpan. You can search for us on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Podbean, or Podomatic under the Rundown Wrestling Podcast. If you subscribe, you get the podcast delivered to you absolutely free each and every week, $0, 0 cents. If you cannot afford a monetary donation, leave us a 5-star review on iTunes because that helps other people find us. If you leave a text review, we'll read your name in your review at the end of a future episode.
Hey, for the sake of us being the 300th episode, can you read the 3-star review you got?
Oh yeah.
That wasn't a text review. That was just the 3 stars.
Oh.
What do you think was going through that person's mind when they left a 3-star review?
I don't know.
Well, obviously Josh was annoyed, so.
How did you feel about that when you received that?
I was very angry.
Well, we take solace in the fact that 3 stars is 2 more stars than the entire WWE roster has right now.
I had a perfect score. I had all 5s up to that point. And now I have what is it? I have
Jason, why would you get him started?
It's still
300th episode.
It still averages out to a 5 though, so it's okay.
It does. Motherfucker. Thanks sincerely to everyone for listening. No matter how long you've been around. This is really Minecraft. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we got a new sponsor.
So it wasn't enough that Sal walked out and slammed the door in the middle of the show. Now he's playing ads on the fucking live show. Why don't you just pull a Troy and put some hardcore porn on the screen for us?
Well, all right, if you want me to.
Oh boy.
No. I'm kidding. Go ahead, finish your plug.
I was being nice and sentimental. You even fucked it up. Thank you to everyone in the chat room.
No, so finish your sentimental discussion.
Just gonna say thanks to all the listeners.
Just take my pants off here. Hold on a second.
I want to see a tear run down your cheek like Enzo Amore.
Do it now.
It's hot enough here. I could probably get some sweat going. Yes, thanks to everyone in the chat room. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you, Adam.
Thanks, I guess, Sal.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Sal's 3rd appearance in 4 months.
Yeah, and in the middle of it, he walked out, took a phone call, and slammed the door.
That's true.
And just played a Minecraft commercial.
Because kids. And you guys wonder why I can't make on the episodes more often.
I got kids.
You got one.
Yeah. I got
kids.
When your 5-year-old starts screaming from the room over,
Troy's got kids.
Because she's having a nightmare, means I have to get up and slam the door because my wife is in Arkansas with my oldest. Tell me what choice I have.
No.
Never mind. Don't tell me what choice I have.
It's not worth it.
Better for the kids to let them work through it on their own.
Is there a reason why she's in a state where the fingers outnumber the teeth?
Yeah, they're down there for a national pageant, her and Skylar.
Yeah. Well, if they're competing against people from Arkansas, they'll win easily.
And thank you, Raccoon Reigns.
No problem. Oh, wait, shit. Was I recording? I don't think I was recording.
That's right. I'll take it off YouTube.
Oh.
Thanks. Thanks to Andy and Troy as well, even though they couldn't make it tonight. Thank you to all my co-hosts.
Before we get out of here.
Well, most of my co-hosts over the last 300 episodes.
Before we get out of here, if you notice the next couple weeks, you won't see much of the Slasher Sanitarium or NXT Revisited. It's because our good friend, co-host Troy is about to welcome his 2nd child into the world. And if that happens before we come back next week, Troy, the best to you and the missus and the little one, and good luck.
Indeed.
Absolutely.
He's got kids. He needs this job.
Thanks to Ray Williams for the logo. Thanks.
Why did you sound annoyed that I congratulated Troy? That's bullshit.
Do I need to do a retake on that? I'm sorry.
I think so.
You don't edit this.
You sounded like a shitty person right there. Congratulations on your kid.
He's making a huge mistake.
Congratulations on your kid. Should have pulled out.
Well, it is fucking midnight, so thanks.
I'm sorry, my expression of fucking joy for Troy was fucking interfering with your sleep schedule, you piece of shit.
I like that poem. That's a nice. You should write that poem.
Oh, I was jacking off and she sat on it the last second. She got me.
I wish I could end it there. Thanks to I Fight Dragons at ifightdragons.com for the theme song. Next week is...
We'll get a new theme song.
Not necessarily. Is predictions for Balls on Fire.
Hashtag WWE Balls.
Yep.
The STD PPV.
Look,
Yep.
I have one right here. I can play it for you as you go out. Go ahead.
Is it a Minecraft commercial?
No, that was the commercial before the fucking YouTube video. See?
How about we try something not 8-bit?
No, that's the gimmick.
I'm gonna have to mute this whole fucking thing now.
Look at
That's
Raccoon.
far
He
too-
likes it.
Because that's far too loud. Will you turn it the fuck off, please?
Fine.
As always.
I definitely expected the 8-bit Taz theme song, but
I don't have that. I wish they did.
Bree,
8-bit theme
next
song
week.
for
next
Song.
week,
time.
predictions for Balls on Fire.
Sal was even stealing your gimmick there.
I didn't say a word.
Breeze on, go fuck yourself.
He said it again.
Fashion police yourself.
And take care, Bulby faces.
See you next Thursday.
Bye,
Maybe.
everybody.
Peace out.
300 episodes, 3 hours and 3 minutes. All right.
Seems fitting.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Stop. Run compressor.
Select all. Effect. Compress dynamics 1.2.6. Okay. I just want to
You're going to have a blast with 4 separate audio files here.
as long as they line up all right.
Honestly, like fucking Troy's shit sounds so much better since he started using that compressor.
Mm-hmm.
I got to say,
It's a good find.
I no longer have to max out the audio in my car to listen to the Quest End podcasts. It's kind of nice. Sal, you know how to run the compressor?
No.
I can do it.
Oh.
I'll just send it. I'll run it on their tracks. It's fine.
Well, shit, if you're doing all the work for Sal, do all the work for me.
Oh, yeah, sure. Whatever.
Fuck. Save me a lot of time if I don't have to do all
Wait,
that.
I completely forget how to do this now.
go to File and
Well, you should fucking be on the show more often. You'd be used to it.
File and export whatever it is.
It's export audio, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
There's actually some.
Also,
there's actually
Adam.
some pretty good. Yeah.
Oh, I was just going to say, I don't know if this happens to you, but every time I put multiple Audacity files or multiple files into Audacity, there's always a point where it will start lining them up perfectly, and then eventually it, in like the midway point, the audio doesn't line up anymore, and I have to like put a little mini second of silence in to make it line up again.
It happens to me occasionally. It doesn't happen to me all the
Yeah.
time.
Pain in the ass.
There's
Alright,
actually some good transcripts this week. Troy's is nothing real good in that one, but Tommy's goes, "What's up, you goddamn box?" I thought that was funny. It's me. It's Paul, me, Monty's auntie, and I'm calling you this week to congratulate the Rundown Wrestling Podcast on 300.
Monty's Asti Monty.
Call me Monty's auntie.
Monty Sop?
Paul, me, Monty's auntie. And I'm calling you this week to congratulate the Rundown Wrestling Podcast on 300 episode 300 South, most of them on YouTube. I have an accomplishment, so congratulations to all of the holes, all of them.
The B-hole?
The B-hole.
Voicemail call
goes back to B-hole with this crowd.
Voicemail call is, and all of the special gas the Rundown has ever had. He is to another 300, although I seriously think Adam's going to do about 303 and then say, fuck this shit, mail it. One quick thing I want to say about wrestling, fuck when Bob Paul. Have a good show.
All right. Makes sense.
Hi, this is Jackson, and I am you to call him to say something, so calm down.
Oh, so.
Oh boy.
So that's the highlights from the voice transcripts this week. Yeah, you goddamn box. That just made me laugh. All right.
Nothing from the King of Quest End. I'm disappointed he didn't leave a voicemail.
Seriously.
The King of Quest End. King of Strong Style. King of Pod Style.
So, on that note, that's going to end our post show here on the YouTubes.
Did you thank everybody on the side?
Thanks, Smathers. And
I thank the people in the chat room, and
me.
you didn't list them off. But I did thank them in the chat rooms.
And Daniel.
Too busy shitting on Troy's joy.
The Joy of Troy. A self-help book. Bye, YouTube.
Good times.